think we're going to break the record. We've even got 4 degrees worth of spread to do that. But the honest truth is we already had the all-time hottest day ever in Salt Lake history this year at 109. We may as well cap it off and add an 86 for the all-time warmest low.
Okay. It seems like we've had a lot of triple-digit days this summer. Is this pretty normal? You mentioned we're breaking records, but is this normal for July?
It is normal for July. So the hottest time in Salt Lake's temperatures is between July 22nd and July 26th. And our average afternoon high is 94 degrees. So that's the hottest time we get. Then we start to trend back down to an average high of 93. So the record for the most 100-degree days is up in the 20s, and we're not there. So yes, it's been hot. Yes, we've had our all-time records for temperature, but we haven't had crazy 100-degree days. We've had more than normal. But it doesn't look like we're going to be approaching records on that one. But a lot of people are talking, it just feels hotter this year, hotter. And it is. Bottom line is it's hotter. And not only are the days hotter, but we get just a little bit of cloud cover in the overnight. And that acts as a blanket and it retains all of that afternoon heat. And we keep it into the overnight. And that's why we're experiencing those record hot morning temperatures as well.
Okay, and it's going to get hotter, right? Isn't the weekend looking really hot, like over 100 for several days?
It is, yeah. So really, we're in the 100s all week long, and we're going to head back up to that 106, 107 mark again as we head towards the end of the week. So no relief coming, regrettably, and we know it's dangerous. It's dangerous to be out in this heat, working in this heat. Good news is a lot of cities and municipalities have cooling centers at libraries, at rec centers, and we just encourage everyone, check on your neighbors. Make sure they're okay. Make sure that if they don't have air conditioning, they've got fans and that they're getting to cool places and they're staying hydrated, because so oftentimes where we see the deaths in this kind of heat are seniors or people who are living alone or in places that maybe they're not getting checked on all the time. And we find out later that they passed because of the heat. So do your part, look out over your neighbor, and make sure everyone that you love and care about and that are close to you is doing okay.
All right. Thanks so much, Kevin. And we'll get set to hit another record. Let's get you up to date now with traffic and weather, brought to you by UCCU. Learn how to save more this summer at uccu.com. Here's Michelle Rowe.
Still looking at a live shot of this crash. Northbound I-15 at Pioneer Crossing, they do have that moved off to the right. Traffic has slowed, partly due to a highway patrol slowdown and also just trying to maneuver around this crash. So expect a little bit of delay in that area. The bigger delays are still southbound I-15. This is starting right about Center Street in Provo due to ongoing road repair issues at 1400 south in Spring, or 1400 north, I should say, in Springville. So again, you're seeing a couple of miles of slowing through that area. The rest of I-15 right now, running smoothly. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
KSL 7-day forecast, 98 today. Partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance for a pop-up storm. Partly cloudy tomorrow, 100. 99, partly cloudy with a 20% chance on Wednesday. Thursday, hot, 102. 104 on Friday, sunshine. Record warmth likely on your Saturday. 106 is the forecast. We'll go to 105 on Sunday, mostly sunny skies. From the KSL Weather Center, I'm Matt Johnson.
Well, a few clouds moved in, cooled us off just a bit. We went down to 97 from the 100 we were sitting at just a few minutes ago. And the 7-day forecast is brought to you by Performance Automotive Bountiful.
Did you know Utah State University is home to one of the nation's leading centers for disability research and advocacy? At the Institute for Disability Research, Policy, and Practice, we work side by side with Utahns with disabilities, their families, and community partners to make our state more accessible and inclusive for everyone. Our researchers, educators, and advocates partner with family service providers and policymakers to create real, lasting change. We believe that everyone deserves a chance to live, learn, work, and play in our communities. From helping children reach their potential in early intervention programs, to building accessible technologies, to improving mental health and employment supports, our work touches every corner of the state. The Institute for Disability Research, Policy, and Practice is the only disability-focused research center in the state of Utah. That means we're Utah's home for innovation, data-driven policy, and community solutions that make life better for people with disabilities. Find us at idrpp.usu.edu. KSL.edu.
Hi, this is Doug Wright. I'm here with Monty from Connecticut Quality Water Systems of Salt Lake, an authorized independent Connecticut dealer. And I was thinking the other day, Monty, that every water softener I've ever seen has a giant tank that holds bags and bags of water softener salt. Well, except one, the one I have in my home. And I picture this, my Connecticut has the little salt tank about the size of a paper shredder or a small trash can.
Well, Doug, that's because the Connecticut water softeners use so much less salt, an average of 70% less than other water softeners. So you don't need a tank that holds 6 or 8 bags of salt.
I love the fact that it's so easy to fill because I don't have to lift those bags up so high, and it seems like those bags of salt, well, they're getting heavier every year.
Yes, it does. When you're using 1 bag of salt for every 3 a regular water softener uses, there's no need for a large salt tank.
Tired of lifting those heavy salt bags to fill your giant water softener salt tank? Go to softwaterutah.com. That's softwaterutah.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8157. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8157. That's 800-575-8157.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
KSL News Time, 12:55. Latest numbers from the Census Bureau are out, and orders for durable goods picked up last month, but not at the pace that analysts were expecting.
Economists were predicting a 1.5% to 2% rise in orders for big-ticket items. The figure has come in at an anemic 0.3%. The number is important because durable goods orders are considered a predictor of future industrial activity. Equities investors were not fazed by today's report. Wall Street opened the week with a rally.
That is ABC's Jim Ryan. Watching Utah's money, cocoa prices hit record highs over the past 2 years, but now the prices are easing up. CNBC reports poor weather conditions led to a shortage, but a surplus in supply for last year and this year will be a buffer. Handel's Ice Cream is coming to Cache Valley. The new shop will open in downtown Logan, making it the 14th Handel's location in Utah. Spicy dessert lovers, listen up. This week, Crumble Cookie is debuting the Flamin' Lime Crunch Cookie topped with spicy cheese crisps and a slice of lime. And taking a look at your money at this moment, the Dow is up by more than 200 points, about 0.5%, sitting at 52,167. S&P up by a couple points. The NASDAQ making some improvements, now down by about 33 points. A new cybersecurity alliance is gaining traction in the tech world in the wake of some major AI hacking incidents.
NVIDIA, SpaceX, Dell, and Microsoft are among the companies joining forces on the Open Secure AI Alliance. The goal? To create advanced cybersecurity tools to guard against attacks from artificial intelligence, like the one where 2 of OpenAI's models hacked into the website Hugging Face. The group says it wants these tools to be open source, meaning any developer can modify the source code of the tool to suit their own specific use case. OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google have not signed on to the alliance. Mike Dubusky, ABC News.
You've waited all year for this moment. Make sure you're prepared when you finally draw back. At Shields, we're right there with you. We have the expertise and premium gear hunters need to gain the edge. Right now, till August 2nd, our hunting sale event is on with savings on the best gear. And if you're a Shields Visa card member, you'll earn extra points on every Shields purchase. Gain the edge you're looking for and save this season at Shields.
Trying to make sense of the markets? Looking to diversify out of all the craziness? Thinking about tangible assets like precious metals? Listen to The Gold Show with Walt Phillips right here on KSL at 3 p.m. Sunday afternoons. Stay up to date on retirement trends, how the IRA rollover process works, and why investors are turning to physical gold. Walt is a national talk show host with decades of experience in the markets. Tune in for Walt's Insights and The Gold Show this Sunday afternoon at 3.
KSL Broadcast Group contests are open to participants 18 years of age and older that are residents of Utah, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest may not enter. Persons who have won in the last 30, 60, or 90 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available at kslnewsradio.com/contests.
Traffic and weather together. It's brought to you by UCCU. Auto loan rates as low as 4.74% APR. What's happening, Michelle?
Still a slow ride for drivers southbound I-15 once you reach right about Center Street in Provo due to ongoing lane restriction as you're approaching 1400 North in Springville. On the flip side, looking at delays northbound I-15 right around Pioneer Crossing, we have a multi-car crash off to the right shoulder causing some delays in that area. Other than that, I-15 is pretty quiet out there. Also, for drivers that are on State Street in Springville, looking at some pretty sizable delays as you're headed toward 400 South. I think avoiding some of the lane restrictions due to the emergency road repairs. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
And taking a look at the forecast for the Wasatch Front, it looks like a high today of 98, 100 degrees tomorrow, and then we are up to like 106 degrees on Saturday. Right now, 97 degrees downtown.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 1 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Heather Peterson. KSL's top story this hour. The Department of Energy has issued an emergency order aimed into preventing power outages during the hot weather across several central and western states. KSL News Radio's Brianna Willis reports.
The order directs the Southwest Power Pool to provide backup power generators to 17 states that have been suffering power outages due to extreme heat, including Wyoming, Texas, and Utah. Representatives with Rocky Mountain Power say it's unlikely they'll need the extra power since the grid is already diversified between solar, wind, gas, and coal, but the help will be good to take some pressure off the already overworked grid.
Rocky Mountain Power has had several large outages when temperatures have been over 100 degrees for several days, but they say that is an issue with the equipment and not a problem with the supply. Dixie National Forest has lifted Stage 2 fire restrictions, now allowing campfires within a designated recreation site. The forest has been in Stage 2 restrictions since late June due to the dry, hot weather. Officials say things have changed thanks to recent moisture and a rise in firefighting resources. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. The man who pleaded guilty to killing 4 University of Idaho students is now trying to overturn his conviction. According to court filings, Brian Koberger is currently representing himself. He was sentenced to 4 consecutive life sentences after accepting a plea deal last year to get the death penalty off the table. In a statement given to the New York Times, Koberger claims he was misled by his defense into taking a deal and has filed a petition for post-conviction relief. Your money at this moment, the Dow is up 222 points, the S&P is up 1, and the NASDAQ is down 41 points. Coming up, Utah's heat wave continues. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time 101.
A reminder about the simplest way to get updated for your day.
Hit your KSL preset when you jump in the car, and we'll take care of the rest.
Hear key news updates and traffic reports.
Andy and Amanda from 5 to 9 in your car.
KSL News Radio at 102.7 FM.
Do you have an IRA or 401k? It's natural to think of this as being your money, right? But remember, you still have to pay taxes when you withdraw this money in retirement. And you could be paying a lot more in taxes on these accounts than you know. A lot more. Learn the strategies that can help you reduce or eliminate your taxes in retirement. Don't miss a special edition of Retirement Solutions Radio this Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Right here on KSL News Radio 102.7.
Something big is coming to South Salt Lake. Join Go Pave Utah on Friday, August 7th from 11 to 1 for our free block party featuring food, drinks, snow cones, virtual golf, and to unveil a giant mural by artist Marcus Medina. Over 200 feet, transforming Go Pave's headquarters into an art landmark. Join Go Pave School Supply Drop-Off, benefiting children at Guadalupe schools, and a separate partnership with Make-A-Wish Utah. August 7th at 2575 South, 900 West of South Salt Lake. Go Pave Utah. Building community one project at a time.
Do you know how to tell if a clogged drain is something to worry about or not? What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and I understand it's annoying and inconvenient, but sometimes a clogged drain can be a sign there's a more serious issue with your sewer main line. If the drains in the lowest level of your home aren't draining, or you flush a toilet and it comes up somewhere else like a shower or a floor drain, I'm urging you to look at this as more than just an annoyance. The last thing I want you to experience is a sewer backup. If you're a homeowner experiencing any of these issues, the first step would be to snake the line to see if it's just a blockage, which one of our drain techs can do for only $29. Yep, you heard that right. Any Hour Services will snake any drain line with normal access for only $29. Sinks, showers, tubs, toilets, floor drains, laundry drains, even that sewer main line that connects to the city. We'll snake any line for just $29. For help with your drain issues, call Any Hour Services at 801-443-7700. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. You deserve to love where you bank. Here's Michelle Rowe.
Still looking at delays for drivers southbound I-15 going between Center Street and Provo headed down to 1400 North. They do have still some lane restrictions. Looks like they're lifting those cones right now, though. But again, it's pretty slow. Also, for drivers that are on northbound I-215 Legacy to join I-15 at the North Salt Lake interchange, seeing some slowdowns there. The Good Feet store supporting you with comfort no matter what the day brings. Find the location nearest you at goodfeet.com. I'm Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
A heat advisory in effect today as highs near the triple digits and the lows are still in the mid-80s, so very little relief. And then we're going to flirt with triple digits all week long, gradually climbing until we get to 106 on Saturday. Right now, it's 97, and there are some showers in the vicinity. I'm Heather Peterson from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
KSL Brightside with Ethan Millard.
Parenting adult kids has got its own set of challenges.
And Alex Curie.
Yeah, those are big diapers when they get older.
This is KSL Brightside on KSL News Radio.
Here with Alex Curie. Oh, there I am. Welcome on into KSL Brightside. I'm Ethan Millard here with Alex Curie. And we appreciate you tuning in. Thanks so much. It's always good to see you. Always good to hear from you. And,
you're talking about me?
Yeah, I'm talking about you.
Oh,
I haven't
okay.
seen you in 4 days.
Yeah,
I wasn't here Thursday, so you were on with
Richie T.
Stedman,
yeah.
and then Friday, of course, was Utah's greatest holiday, 24th of July.
Which you weren't here for, which I thought was appropriate considering that you rolled up and then were so frivolous with how amazing Kentucky was compared to Utah.
I spent the weekend in Kentucky.
This is why now I'm starting to get it. You missed the 24th of July. You go to another state and cheat on us with this other state, and then you come back and go.
Became unmoored.
He came back and everything is. You guys, hold on, just between me and the listener. Everything. Ethan comes back. Everything is. Y'all know Louisville, and he was like so unbearable with his fake new accents, like one of those missionaries that comes back and be like, "Me no speak English anymore," and you're like, hey, "What?" So guess what, Ethan?
I did, huh?
You can go.
I missed one Pioneer Day, and I've lost all my values.
No, you start talking about how great their food is. I will say there was like a food item there. If you go back and watch the stream, we did an hour on basically how Louisville beat us on Kentucky beat us on one food item that I'm actually quite upset about.
Actually, yeah.
And I want to steal from them.
Kentucky stomped us on a food item that we really should have owned permanently.
We'll get into that.
You can see it on YouTube. On our stream on YouTube, but I really did like Emily's sister lives in Louisville, has for 30 years, and I really
they've lived there for 30 years.
Yeah, they raised their family there.
Well, I'm always jealous of like when other people are other places and they go, yeah, it's amazing here and it's really great and it's and this huge McMansion that we bought, $14. You know what I mean? Like when you see real estate in other states and you go, somebody got us. What's going on here?
I was super. I mean, nothing. There's no place like Utah. But boy, I was impressed by Kentucky. It was pretty.
I was impressed by. Oh, you know what's going to happen now?
What?
Heaven help us if Becky Bruce has heard this whole thing about how amazing Kentucky is. Oh, yeah. Did she already? Did she roll her eyes at you and go, I've been trying to tell you for years, guy?
Yeah, she was like, yep.
Told you.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
All right.
And then she asked me about the humidity, which actually we had a couple of really good low humidity days. So it worked
that's
out for
good.
us. Clint texted in. He said, if I'm going to cheat on the state of Utah, it would only be for Tennessee, not Kentucky.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it. I don't hate the idea. I thought you were going to say Idaho, and I'm glad you didn't. I was Nevada. I would have hated to hear that thing.
By Idaho, do you mean northern Utah?
Northern Utah. Yeah. Snowville.
Don't tell the Idahoans that we
All
call
right.
it that. But Alex, we got to do our three things.
Let's do it. Let's jump in right here.
Your top trending stories happening right now. KSL Brightside's The Three Things.
Hey, I just want to give credit where credit's due. Down in Utah County, where they really tried to do something different for the 24th of July with those 2 fireworks barges out on Utah Lake. When I saw they were planning that, I thought, hey, you know what? That's actually really a cool
We talked
idea.
about it on Thursday, and it was like, hey, and they had a website set up. It was like UtahLakeFireworks.com, brought to you by this data center, brought to you by Utah City.
I'm hoping that they don't give up on this, because if you're not familiar with what happened, almost nothing happened. So,
they
had
started
2
it up.
barges that were going to go out into different parts of the lake. Cool idea. One barge finally got out there pretty late, well late of its proposed starting time. They started lighting out fireworks, and the barge caught on fire.
Yeah, man.
The other barge never got away from shore. So it was.
Does that mean we have a bunch of
Does
that mean we have a bunch of unspent fireworks floating around somewhere out in the
my
lake?
next question is, when are we going to set those off? And I think it just lays in greater urgency to what we've been
November.
Yes, we've
To the
been trying to
November party.
get an answer out of Governor Cox's office. He's the one that said we could have a fireworks holiday in November, and so far there have been 0 details or even 0 acknowledgement that he ever said it.
I know, and somebody's got to keep honest on this thing, because
that's right.
Here's what else happened. Some of the restrictions got a little bit loosened up, for sure.
Yeah.
But I will tell you that despite the fact that they got loosened up, people still felt sheepish about doing this. Walking into the studio right now with some breaking news here on KSL News Radio on KSL Brightside. Heather Peterson just joined us in studio here. Heather, what do you have for us?
Yeah, so we're following this fire in Washington Terrace right now. It's right at the south end, some neighborhoods there. It's threatening homes, so there are evacuations in place for the people in that area, and so far they know about 15 to 20 acres have burned, but a lot of fire crews are on the scene there in Washington Terrace, and we just want to let everyone know, if you're in the area, stay away, get out. Now's the time to stay away.
How large is the footprint of the evacuation area that they're talking about there? Do we know?
We haven't got a ton from fire crews just yet. I think they're still kind of trying to get a handle on this situation. All we know is there is a ton of fire crews there, and they're trying to get people out as fast as possible.
So is this fire burning down along the river? Is that where this is?
I don't think that. No. I think at Washington Terrace, I think they're well above that. I think it's
well, they kind of go up to the river.
I'm interested to see where this is at, because I'm pretty familiar with that whole area, and I am. You have the Ogden Country Club golf course that's right up against there as well, and Bonneville High School it's up there, and so I'm wondering kind of where this is along the way. But obviously, Heather and the rest of the newsroom are going to be working closely to see how.
Yeah,
this
we're
thing's
sending a
going
reporter. We'll bring you more as we get it.
Awesome. Thank
All right,
you.
so possible. Well, no, there are some evacuations that they're starting out there in Washington Terrace. There's a fire that's threatening homes. So if you're in that area, you'll want to pay very, very close attention to instructions from emergency officials. And I think it's probably a place to avoid right now. So
let them do their work.
Yeah,
let them do their work, because then that's the way that they can reduce the amount of people who are going to have to leave their homes, if that's the case anyway. Maybe save some houses as well. So appreciate Heather coming in with that.
Yeah.
Ethan, I don't even know what we're talking about now.
We were talking about the fireworks, but
the
we
fireworks,
should move on to the
out.
second thing.
Let's hear it.
And that is the deadly shootout at the Seattle Center during the food festival. This was yesterday. Left 3 people dead, 4 others injured. They're still searching for one suspect. They've got one suspect, though. They arrested at the scene. It was a 15-year-old boy.
Oh my goodness! They think that the suspects were shooting at each other too, and so you have Here's the thing: so the other suspect might also be a juvenile. I will say, I've been to the Bight of Seattle a handful of times in my life. Grew up in that area. I've been to Seattle Center a million times. I hate when this kind of stuff happens. You know, when it happens right where you grew up, and when it happens, the thing is, I know Seattle Center gets a bad rap already for where this is right where the Space Needle is, and so it's a little bit removed. It's north of downtown, and it's one of those places that it's always struggled to kind of keep up with. Like, hey, let's make sure this is a big touristy area here. Let's not make it terrible. Dangerous. I graduated from high school. I walked to high school right below the Space Needle, right there at the old Key Arena, which is where the basketball team plays. I can't remember the name of the arena is now, but that whole area is pretty. It can get run down and weird. They've tried to revamp it a few times. Downtown's tried to get revamped a few times, and so hopefully this was not some sort of planned attack. I mean, not that it makes it any better when two juveniles are shooting at each other. And I know one of the victims was a 2-year-old who was shot, and actually I think the 2-year-old boy is going to actually. Looks like he's going to make it.
He remains hospitalized. Right. The people who lost their lives were a 19-year-old man, a 44-year-old man, and a 56-year-old woman. 2 of them died at the scene. The woman passed away during surgery at the hospital. The 2-year-old boy is still in the hospital.
Yeah.
Also, a 23-year-old man, 27-year-old man, 39-year-old woman were treated for wounds to their limbs or abdomen and have since been discharged. So it's this is not good. So hopefully they can find the other perpetrator here. I think almost certainly they've got a shot because it seems to me that if that 15-year-old suspect and the other suspect were shooting each other, they know who each other are, and so I'm sure they could probably get this information out of that kid. Maybe they already know who it is and they're just searching for him, because when these people go to ground, they can be tough to track down. Seattle Mayor Katie Wilson said it was an act of horrific violence, calling it an unbelievable tragedy for a cultural gathering built around joy. So
yeah.
And then finally, on our 3 things, abysmal high temperatures hitting part of Utah. That is the headline.
Well, I think it's not just
at KSL.com. Abysmal high temperatures.
It's not just the high temperatures too. I mean, we're going to hit 106 allegedly coming up on Saturday. It's the abysmal low temperatures. It's how the lows never get low.
Yeah.
And this is why my AC system is like in full blow all the time, because
the only thing that makes it work in the summertime is we have to be able to get to the low 70s overnight.
Yeah,
if we can get to the low 70s overnight, we can make this work.
It was 87 last night at 3 a.m. at my house, and I was like, why is it so hot in here? It's because it barely got below 90. It was 90 again already by the time it was 9 a.m. at my house.
It only got down to 82 degrees overnight. So tonight, though, it's supposed to get down to 75 here in the valley. So hopefully it's a little bit nicer. But yeah, I agree, Alex. It's got to get down in the evenings, or else this does not work.
Well, no,
I feel like Mother Nature at this point is breaking a very specific code that we have with her.
No, I was saying
live with the 100-degree temperature, but you got to get back down to 75 at night. And if you can't do that, you're breaking the rule.
I was saying this too last night. Like when I was sitting there in my house, and I'm like, why does it feel more hot than usual? Number one, my 4-year-old climbed into our bed, or our 3-year-old climbed into our bed last night, so that doesn't help, right? So you have this freaking hot body that's all over you, and then you're like, okay, I can't. But honestly, your body gets used to it. My body's used to it being 72 degrees at night, like in the even, like when it's actually in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
But because it was 77 or 78 in the house, I had this sweat sheen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My body, when it gets to 76 at night, I can't operate, my guy. I cannot. Yeah. I can't get to this spot. I can't. This is when I started thinking about. This is when I started looking at houses in Kentucky where you were at, because I was like, in the middle of the night, I didn't know what to do with myself. I can't stand it. I hate it. I don't know. My kids ask me, they go, where can we move where it's less hot? I go, we're not just going to move out of Utah because it's hot, but there are times where I'm tempted to just be like, I'm done with this.
We've had a listener text in some photos from that Washington Terrace fire, and I'm not able to really see exactly where it is. I suspect it's down there kind of on that end of town, but you can see, though, how close it is to houses. So if you know exactly where that Washington Terrace fire is burning, I'd be interested to know at 57500. In the meantime, that's the breaking news we got just a couple of minutes ago out of the newsroom, that there is an area of Washington Terrace on fire. It's threatening homes, and that they're asking some people to evacuate for a little bit while they get this handled. Apparently, it was just a really fast-moving, quick brush fire that hopefully they get a handle on real quick.
Ethan, we got a health class coming up here around the corner. We want to update you on a couple of different things, including a new GLP-1 side effect that you were not necessarily expecting. And this one, boy, if you weren't expecting it, it would be a shock to you. I'll tell you if you were not expecting it. And then also, why is it the mosquitoes do bite some people more than others? We'll come back and talk about that and much more right here. It's KSL Brightside.
My friend Joey loves to use old familiar sayings.
You know what they say?
The problem is,
don't look at a gift horse because you can't make them drink.
He gets a lot of them mixed up.
People who live in glass houses,
here it comes,
shouldn't cry over spilt milk.
There are also a lot of sayings in the financial world, like, you'll pay lower taxes in retirement. But for many people, it's just not true. You may have done a great job saving in that 401k or IRA, but Uncle Sam is ready to grab a big portion of that money. The team at Galileo Wealth Management can help with strategies that you can start now to lower your tax bill in the future. More for you and less for Uncle Sam.
Or as they say, an apple a day is worth two in the bush.
Get the facts on your tax bill in retirement. Call Galileo Wealth today at 385-247-7000. It's 385-247-7000 or online at GalileoWealth.com.
And remember, a stitch in time keeps the doctor away. Does, you know.
Hi, this is Doug Wright, and as we move into August, I can't help but look back into July. That's where we celebrated Dee's birthday, which, by the way, is a month-long celebration. We call it the Dee Fest. We had every adult in the family there at Ruth's Chris in downtown Salt Lake City at 275 Southwest Temple, and it was just a delight. The atmosphere, the service, and, of course, the food. Incredible. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. You can always count on Ruth's Chris. And then, of course, Hotel Park City is a wonderful place, especially at this time of year when it's so hot down in the valley, to head up into the mountains and enjoy that perfect meal. Let everybody else do the work. And you and your family, you and your friends, just kick back and enjoy the perfect meal. Ruth's Chris Steakhouse, 275 Southwest Temple in the heart of downtown Salt Lake City, or up in our beautiful Utah mountains at Hotel Park City. It's Ruth's Chris Steakhouse.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Any Hour Services can make sure your AC keeps you cool this summer. Whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just a second opinion about replacing it, call Any Hour Services or visit anyhourservices.com.
KSL Brightside with Ethan and Alex. The news just keeps getting weirder on KSL News Radio.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to KSL Brightside. We're going to give you a little update here on that fire threatening Washington Terrace, which is up near South Ogden. So we've identified where that fire has been burning. It is in the space immediately south of Washington Terrace. As you go from the railroad tracks there up that big hill, that's where it is.
56 South and 5600 South and 5700 South are the last two streets that are up on that hill.
That's
up
right.
there. And that's where the initial evacuations had been reported. And so we're still trying to run down whether or not they've lifted those. I think last we heard you may see some that they've already sort of lifted those, but the pictures we were seeing were pretty dramatic. I mean, obviously any fire that pops up there is going to be pretty dramatic, especially when you're near homes and especially if you had some evacuations.
And it'll be interesting to know also what caused this. So it's a little narrow area. This is not out in the wilderness. It's right in the middle of a city. And so one of our colleagues in the newsroom mentioned that she thought maybe the maybe the railroad tracks themselves might end up being what caused it.
Oh,
Because, railroad, they can spark,
Yeah.
things like that. And so, which very well could be. But there is that kind of open area. It looks like there are a few trails and things like that, little roads and things that are running along that hill. So we'll keep you updated.
Well, we've got reporters on the way, TV and radio and all of the like, and it looks like that we'll likely be getting a live feed here into the studio at some point in the next few minutes as to whatever they're seeing. Either it's from Chopper 5 or from a camera crew that would be on scene, and so we'll be able to give you a little bit of a better eyeball picture of how this thing works and describe it for you over the radio.
And KSL News Radio sent someone, right? Do we know who we sent?
No, Heather just said the reporter set it up that way, so we'll see. All right, we'll jump in. We'll keep giving you updates as we get them here on that on some of the possible evacuations up there in Washington Terrace. In the meantime, let's jump in here, Ethan. Let's talk, of course, when it comes to your health. Brightside is on that front line of fighting for your health, and that's why, of course, we do health class. Let's jump in right here.
Just as awkward as it was in junior high. It's time for KSL Brightside's health class.
We won't make it nearly as awkward as it was in junior high.
Oh,
I promise you that.
I don't know.
I do.
That's always kind of fun. The shock value of some of the. That's how you get kids to listen, Ethan. Come on, man. You bring up some weird stuff and then go, I can't believe Ethan was talking about that on the radio.
Can I share two memories from
Absolutely.
health class?
Yeah.
So I was at West High.
Yeah.
And health class was done by one of the coaches.
Of course.
And
we lived the same thing. I was in Texas at that point in my lifetime, and Coach Day was the guy, and he was not the guy you wanted, by the way, teaching your kids.
And in health class, it's not just a sex ed class. It's not just
right.
But they did cover what then was legally allowed, right? Legally expected. And it's a moving target, I know. But back then, yes, there was some things that we covered. And I remember when we got to that point, we had fair warning, right, that topic was coming. I remember that the first part of the class was this poor coach telling us all. No, not yet. He was telling us all, and he was kind of ranting that we need to appreciate what he's about to do. Because no one else would, I remember the way he phrased it, no one else would touch this with a 10-foot pole.
Yeah.
And then he listed all the other people
who didn't do it,
who could have done this class and they didn't.
Call them out.
This person, coach so-and-so, coach so-and-so. They wouldn't touch this with a 10-foot pole. I'm in here. I'm doing this. And he just he really wanted us to appreciate what he was doing for us.
Sounds like a guy who probably didn't even get a bonus for it. That's why he was really upset. Didn't get the extra pay for it. So I had a similar thing.
And then when he got to the part where it was like down to the meat and potatoes, he just read it as fast as he could. He burned through that. He had a couple paragraphs that he just burned through it.
So I think I've told you this story before, but ours was Coach Day, and he was like, and he thought he was telling us all sorts of stuff. He was very straightforward about it, which I appreciated. And we didn't have, I think, some of the same restrictions in Texas as they may have had here in Utah of like the things that quote unquote by law you could teach or whatever. I don't know. He went right at it, to his credit.
Yeah.
Now, on the flip side, though, this is a bunch of 8th graders. I remember he comes in and he had what he did was he had a box of questions that you could put questions in if you felt weird about asking them, and he would dip into them and be like, all right, if y'all feel uncomfortable, you want to put a question in the box up here, okay? You throw it in here, and you could do it. I don't care. Whenever you do it, if you take some time, maybe between classes, you feel awkward, I'll put it right here in front, and we'll put it in. So Coach Day puts it out there, and the poor guy opened the box up because this is how you do it when you're in 8th grade. I don't know why he thought it would go any different. He'd go, okay, I'm going to start reading some of these questions. Opens the first question up, and he goes, all right, that's inappropriate. I'm not going to read that. So he throws it away. And then he opens up the thing. He gets it. He goes, next question. He opens the thing up, and he looks at it, and he goes, all right, you guys aren't taking this seriously at all. Because all these, you can imagine what 8th graders are writing down that they're hoping that the coach will read out loud in class.
Ours was
nothing like any of that.
Ours was Coach Miner up at West High. Coach Miner was a legend.
Yeah, well, it sounds like he was. Sounds like he was doing
high
the
school
Lord's
coach.
work.
So anyone else remember Coach Miner up there at West High?
Send a
Drop
text.
me a text.
575. All right, Millard. I've got. We've got a couple of health things in here.
We do, specifically an interesting side effect for GLP-1 that you need to know about. Now, a lot of people are taking GLP-1s now. In fact, 25% of American households have someone, at least one person in their household, who's who's currently on a
How
GLP-1.
many? Wait, how many?
25% of the households
That's crazy.
have at least one person on GLP-1s right now. So it is this this medication is being used all over the place.
Somebody I know, their kids are on it. And I didn't know. I mean, it's not like you've had, like, I thought to myself, like, oh, you got to be 18 and over. But I'm seeing at least this one set of this family in our neighborhood. They have a couple of teenagers on it.
I wonder how different it is.
I don't know what the
Probably
cutoff, like,
just
how early could you start giving GLP-1s to kids, or like what morally is right? You know, when you start coming down to it, like if you've got an 11-year-old who you're like, I'm worried about their weight, and you start giving them a GLP, can you even do that? That sounds wild to me, but I know a couple of teenagers who are on it in our neighborhood. So,
well, here's a side effect that you need to make sure that you watch out for, and that is the way that GLP-1 medications interact with other medications. So here's what GLP-1s do is, among the other things, they do a few things. They delay gastric emptying, which means things move through your system just a lot slower. What happens is this slows down how quickly orally administered drugs are absorbed. Because of this, certain medications may become less effective or take longer to work because the uptake isn't as quick. Among them that they say that these are risking are oral contraceptives. And so some doctors are predicting that we are going to start to see a lot of unintended pregnancies.
Interesting.
Because birth control, orally administrated
might
birth
not be
control,
working as well.
is not going to work well because of the way your things move through your system.
But the other thing is that, so the other thing doctors are seeing are, you have people who are losing weight who weren't necessarily, the obesity was causing them not to be pregnant in the first place, maybe,
Mm-hmm.
or that was something that just didn't necessarily had to worry about as much. And so people are losing weight, and then they're just becoming more fertile, like just in general. And so are we going to have a GLP baby boom?
Maybe. Ozempic babies?
Yeah.
Another category of medication, diabetes medications, which is a terrible irony.
That is
because
crazy.
a lot of people take GLP-1s to help manage diabetes,
Right.
but insulin and sulfonylureas.
Oh boy, that sounds fake.
I don't know.
You blew that, whatever it was.
Taking GLP-1s with certain types of diabetes medication can increase the risk of hypoglycemia.
Crazy. All right, Millard, we got to take a break. We got news, traffic, and weather. We're keeping an eye on this fire that was up in Washington Terrace and some possible evacuations that went along with it. We're going to get you updated as well as soon as we get more and more information on that when we come back. We've got more right around the corner. Don't want to miss any of it. Right here, it's KSL Brightside.
1:30 at KSL News Radio. I'm Heather Peterson. KSL's top local story this hour is developing news. Some homes in Washington Terrace have been evacuated because of a vegetation fire threatening homes. All properties on Adams Avenue on 5600 South and 5700 South to 300 West were told to evacuate about 30 minutes ago. The Riverdale Trail going south is also closed. A large number of fire crews are on the scene. They estimate it's burned about 15 to 20 acres so far. If people don't have anywhere to go, they can head to the senior center for shelter. Hundreds of dead trout have washed onto the shore of Minersville Reservoir, which sits just outside of Beaver. Following the Cottonwood Fire and subsequent monsoon storms, a ton of ash and debris have flowed into the reservoir. Nick Braithwaite, a biologist with the Utah Division of Wildlife Resources, says debris reduces oxygen and kills the fish.
A lot of the fish will stay in the water, end up sinking to the bottom, where they'll be eaten by other aquatic organisms or just decay.
Braithwaite says this isn't uncommon. Other reservoirs in that area of central Utah have had similar fish kills that followed monsoon flooding. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. Former FBI Director James Comey's attorney have filed a motion to dismiss the indictment charging him for the Seychelles Instagram post prosecutors say threatened President Trump's life.
Defense lawyers accuse the Department of Justice of singling out Comey to, quote, prosecute one of the president's most prominent critics. They argue that the photo of seashells arranged in the numbers 8647 are a kind of political speech protected by the First Amendment. Comey has vigorously denied that his post was ever intended as a threat against Trump and is expected to plead not guilty in an arraignment scheduled for next month in North Carolina. Peter Haralambous, ABC News.
Your money at this moment, the Dow is up 253 points, the S&P up 8, and the NASDAQ up 1. Coming up, no relief in sight from the heat. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time, 1:32.
Hi, I'm Maria Chaleos, and I'd like to tell you about my podcast, the KSL News Daily. Every weekday morning, we'll deliver one story explored in depth, plus the 3 things you need to know before your day begins.
But this is new. This is where we human beings are able to trick AI.
This is news with context from the journalists you trust.
Agencies were less than willing to speak with us about this.
Find and follow the KSL News Daily at kslpodcast.com or wherever you listen.
Summertime and the saving is easy at Dave's Bernina in Provo and St. George. Ladies, Dave's Bernina makes it easy for you to own a new Bernina quilting machine.
Big savings on embroidery and sewing machines. Come in and find out about the new products to be released in the upcoming weeks. Special pre-order pricing on the all-new Bernina 790 Ultra, 580 and 495 Liberty editions, and the Bernina 660 and 620 Surgers.
Come in now.
24 to 48 months, 0% interest on specific machine purchases. The Bernina 990, 770 Pro, and 570 are on sale, featuring free accessory bundles worth from $2,900 up to $4,600.
Dave's Bernina, 691 East St. George Boulevard and 2017 North, 550 West in Provo.
So have some creative fun this summer.
Dave'sBernina.com.
Great deals on trade-in machines while they last.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct. To the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty. Hey, Doug, what is it that you do? 'Cause everybody's buying a car from you. Hey, Doug.
Doug Smith Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram has been serving Utah County at 2 locations for years. Explore our wide selection of beautiful new vehicles in Spanish or American Fork.
Hey, Doug.
Hi, thanks for calling Uline.
Wait, did the phone even ring?
Nope.
Okay, so you answered before the ring. But now you're going to put me on hold, right?
We don't do that here. We're real people answering the phone, ready to help with your order when you are.
Uline has thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline, we warehouse for you.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Learn how to save more this summer at uccu.com. Here's Michelle Rowe.
Wet roads in a crash. This is SR 201 at 8400 West in Magna. You're going to see maybe just a little bit of slowing in that area. And then the earlier delay is southbound I-15 approaching into Springville. That's looking much better. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
98's the high today, but more alarmingly is the low, which could break records at 85 overnight. Then tomorrow we're expecting to hit 100, Wednesday 99, and then it creeps up from there until Saturday we could see 106. Right now it's partly cloudy with some showers in the area and 95 degrees. I'm Heather Peterson from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
KSL Brightside. with Ethan Miller.
For us, we bond at night over our favorite TV shows.
And Alex Curie.
Watching TV, but also staring at your phones? That's super romantic.
This is KSL Brightside on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back. You're listening to KSL Brightside, and we are covering right now breaking news up near Ogden, Washington Terrace specifically, where there is a fire that's threatening the south edge of that neighborhood. That fire is down in that area between the neighborhood and the railroad tracks, as far as we can tell. We are anticipating a view from Chopper 5 at some point, and then also we have KSL News Radio's Becky Bruce is headed up there, and she's going to report for us live at the scene. But we do know that just a short time ago, emergency officials did ask a number of families there along the edge of town to evacuate because the fire was threatening their homes. It had gotten so quick, so near so quickly. So that's a very, very frightening thing for these families. Specifically, that's a 5600 South and 5700 South there in Washington Terrace is where those evacuations have been. And so we're going to let you know once we know for sure that there is no longer a threat to those homes. We'll let you know, and then we'll just give you as much information as we can. You can probably see the smoke from the 84 there, almost certainly, because Washington Terrace is just up above that. So we also, the prudent thing to do is also to avoid that area if you can. Maybe give them a break, give the emergency crews a little bit of a break by just avoiding that area. So there's nothing any of us can do. So let's not get in anyone's way, which can happen. And I'm always really surprised, especially Alex, what I'm surprised to see is we've had drone incursions this year. I thought for sure we wouldn't have any this year.
It just doesn't matter. Like there's always somebody who goes, I'm gonna send my drone up. It won't bother anything. I'll just have it over here.
It's way lower than the airplanes and helicopters.
And it ruins it. I mean, we already had it. What one did they have to? They had to shut down. They had to shut down a couple of times.
They've had to shut down a few.
Yeah. It's just annoying. So that's like the big one that they try to tell the public. It's like one thing is to just don't drive by there just because you think you're interested in seeing what's going on, or like, oh, that's where my grandma used to live, or I want to see what's going on up there, or whatever. Let the fire crews do their thing, but also you do the same. It's the same exact attitude as somebody who's like, I'm going to drive up and see that fire while they're trying to fight it. And they do that with the drones, and then guess what? All the aircraft has to get grounded immediately and can't go up again until.
And then they fall behind. And honestly, you have to imagine also that it increases the risk to firefighters overall if the air support can't keep up.
100%.
So Alex, we're going to do a little continuation of health class here.
This was brought up because last night we were all sitting around and we went outside, and we have all these extra ice cream bars from our neighborhood party we did, and so we just kind of had an impromptu, like, hey, we're all sitting around, and we were just sitting in my grass, and we were all having some. It was basically an all-you-could-eat ice cream buffet for people who want to come by because we're trying to get rid of all these things out of the chest freezer. And first world problem, by the way, too many ice cream bars in the thing, and we were like, this is kind of nice because the mosquitoes are like not out right now. And so and one of my neighbors was like, oh, they get me. I've been bitten like 14 times already, and I always wondered if that was like a myth. It's like they like me because I got that sweet blood. And I'm like, that sounds like garbage. There's no way that it works like that. However,
it is the case. In fact, pregnant women,
I always wondered,
are twice as attractive to mosquitoes compared to non-pregnant women.
Why?
Maybe you can guess why.
Got that sweet blood.
Think about
it. They run hotter.
Yep.
Okay. Is that it?
The heat. Yeah.
All right.
So mosquitoes are going to go after a number of cues as to who they're going to go after. Among them are heat and also CO2 exhalation. And when you're pregnant, you run hot. You got a little furnace inside of you.
Plus you're hot. Okay, so.
You're hot. So.
Honey, listen. Your body temperature's way up. Plus, you're a hot breather right now. You're just breathing so hot. Anyway, that's things to not say to your pregnant wife. Well, the mosquitoes are biting you because you basically are like a hot engine. Plus, you got this hot breath going on. But anyway, we love you.
Also, people who are exercising may be temporarily more attractive to mosquitoes, especially during and just after exercise due to the increased CO2 production. Which leaves them warmer and sweatier. larger bodied people who typically produce more heat and exhale more H2O, more
thanks
CO2.
a lot. Thanks a lot.
So do you get bit a lot?
Why would you say that?
Because you're 6.5 feet tall.
I just. I'm
sorry.
I will say this. No. No offense taken.
All right.
Like, bigger people are getting bit a lot. You have probably a ton of bites on you right now as we speak. No offense taken. I will say this. I've lost a lot of weight in the past 2 or 3 years.
All the mosquitoes are so disappointed.
Dude, I will say, I just am not, it's not about whether or not I'm getting bit a lot by them, because I'll get bit by mosquitoes here and there. I am not their most important target. I've noticed. All the pregnant women around, just all of them. No, but I'm saying, like, I am not getting bit nearly as much. So if you want another side effect of losing weight, I'm not getting bit by mosquitoes as much.
Not nearly as much as
I've
before.
lost 38 pounds, and I'm not getting
target.
bit by the mosquitoes as much.
Smaller target, don't run nearly as hot.
My CO2 footprint is not nearly as bad. I'm not such a heavy breather, which means the mosquitoes stay away from me.
So another thing, too, and researchers are still kind of figuring this out, but there are over 500 what are called VOCs in our skin. These are volatile organic compounds, which break down and easily evaporate into the air, and mosquitoes can note them. They're attracted, for example, to ammonia and lactic acid on our skin, carboxylic acids. So depending on the makeup of your body and how your skin basically...
Some people just genetically are going to make those things more, obviously. That's just the way it is.
So it's the skin microbiome. It breaks down carbohydrates, fatty acids, and peptides.
Lactic acid, is that you spill a big old milkshake on yourself and you...
That's what I assumed. This is something mostly
back to chubby guys like
clumsy.
me. What happened? I got bit by all the mosquitoes because I spilled my milkshakes on myself. I know it's not that simple, but it sounds terrible. It sounds like basically exactly what you don't want to. Here's the other thing. Like, there would be certain foods that they would be... That, like, if you're eating something, would they be attracted to that at all, or are you just the food?
No, you're the food. Yeah, you're the food. So it is. I mean, I guess if there was a food based on what I can smell,
they smell that blood sausage.
Based on what I can tell,
don't eat it.
If it does change the way that your skin kind of releases these volatile compounds,
okay.
I guess there's a chance.
That makes sense.
Although that's not addressed right here specifically. But the people who had the highest bacterial community on your skin, more abundant, were more attractive to mosquitoes.
Yeah, I got you.
If you had less diverse or less abundant bacteria in your skin, you are less attractive to mosquitoes. So
I'm trying to find out how you can make less lactic acid on your body right here. You ready for this?
You want to hear something interesting, though? They did studies on twins, identical twins, and non-identical twins, fraternal twins. In identical twins, they drew mosquito bites equally.
Yeah, of course.
Non-identical twins, though, did not.
Makes sense. Let me see here. Stay hydrated. If you drink enough water, the blood flow in your body will actually help dissipate a lot of that lactic acid. So at least from the lactic acid standpoint, you got to drink some water. Yeah, because I think your muscles produce the lactic acid. All right, we'll take a break. We'll come back. We've got more. We're going to try to get you an update here. We're looking up on the screen here in the studio to see when Chopper 5 is going to start feeding back some images of that fire up in Washington Terrace that has caused some evacuations. They even said the senior center up there in Washington Terrace will be hosting people if they do not have a safe place to go right now. And we have much more of an update as soon as we get, like we said, you got Chopper 5. It's going to be in the air. Becky Bruce from KSL, our own KSL News Radio's own Becky Bruce, will be in the vicinity as well, and is either there right now or is arriving there shortly to get an update on what's going on up in that part where that wildfire has, or a fire of some kind has triggered an evacuation up in Washington Terrace. We'll come back. We've got more to go right around the corner. Stay right here with us. It's KSL Brightside.
The sources where we get our news matters.
When you listen to Utah's Morning News, we want you to feel the stories are important to you and trustworthy. This is Amanda Dixon.
And I'm Andy Farnsworth. Join us weekday mornings on KSL News Radio.
This is Colin Keary from the New Millennium Group. Have you ever had a question for your financial advisor only to find out that the next available appointment is months away? At New Millennium Group, we believe that financial advice should never be limited to once-a-year review meetings. Life happens every single day. Markets change, retirement questions come up, family situations evolve, and when they do, you deserve answers. That's why we pride ourselves at the New Millennium Group on being accessible when our clients need us most. Whether you're wondering about your investments or a major life decision, our team is here to help provide guidance. We're not interested in being the firm you hear from once a year. We want to be your trusted resource throughout your entire retirement journey. If you're looking for a financial team that values relationships, communication, and responsiveness, we'd love to meet you. Give us a call today at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or visit us at utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Sign up for KSL Text Alerts. Get breaking news and traffic updates by texting the word news to 57500. Want access to exclusive contests? Text contest to 57500. Jazz fans, text the word jazz for breaking jazz updates. And Cougar fans, text BYU to 57500 for the latest on the Cougars. Message and data rates may apply.
What's up, everybody? I'm Mike Wilson with Any Hour Services, and if you have a drain that's clogged or backed up, after you've tried the plungers and products, the next step usually involves some kind of drain snake or cabling equipment. You see, sometimes the blockage is far enough down the line that you need special equipment that most homeowners just don't have. That's where the Drains Department at Any Hour Services can help. A drain snake can clear most blockages and get the water flowing again, and clearing blocked drains is what our Drains Department does day in and day out. So if you're a homeowner with a drain line that's clogged or backed up and you'd like one of our drain technicians to come and snake the line for you, it's only $29. Yep, you heard that right. Any Hour Services will snake any drain line with normal access for only $29. Sinks, showers, tubs, toilets, floor drains, laundry drains, even that sewer main line that connects to the city. We'll snake any line for just $29. For help with your drain issues, call Any Hour Services at 801-443-7700. You can Google Any Hour Services. You can even schedule online at anyhourservices.com. No one helps more homeowners than Any Hour Services.
Progressive provides protection for your boat and other outdoor vehicles so you can explore new things.
Oh, I can finally try pesto.
We meant like water skiing.
I've just never had pesto.
Or maybe take the boat somewhere new.
I mean, is pesto spicy or sweet? Oh, guess we'll find out, right?
Right. Bundle home or auto insurance with your boat, RV, or motorcycle and stay protected with Progressive while you explore.
I don't know. Maybe I'm not ready for pesto.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Everywhere you look, things are getting more expensive. But at Consumer Cellular, we're lowering the price for those 50 and up. Now you can get unlimited everything for just $35 a line. That's $35 a month for unlimited talk, text, and data. Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction and get unlimited everything for just $35 a month. Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit Consumer Cellular online or in-store today. Price includes $5 credit for autopay and e-billing. Taxes and fees apply. Data speeds reduced after 35 gigabytes. Rankings done by 2025 ACSI survey.
Jeff Kaplan here with Bonnie from Salt Lake City Fat Loss. Bonnie, tell us why Salt Lake City Fat Loss is the preferred weight loss program in Utah versus other weight loss programs that offer pills or injections.
Our program is the #1 natural alternative to drugs or injections, and for those who want to lose fat and not muscle. People are spending hundreds of dollars on these injections that are giving them slower weight loss, where our program is a fraction of the cost and they're losing twice the amount of weight.
Can people lose weight fast on the program?
Most of our clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two, but the biggest thing is they're learning the skills to keep the weight off.
What are some of the things about the program that sets it apart from other weight loss programs?
It's very easy to follow, and we use regular grocery store foods. There's no heavy exercising required, and you get a personal health coach to help you every step of the way.
I chose the SLC Fat Loss Program along with 70,000 people across the U.S. It's offered exclusively in Utah at Salt Lake City Fat Loss. Schedule your free consultation online at slcfatloss.com.
KSL Brightside with Ethan and Alex. Turn your afternoon around on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back. This is KSL Brightside. I'm Ethan Millard here with Alex Keary. And Alex, We are, of course, waiting for more information on this fire that's threatening homes in Washington Terrace. The fire is burning along the south edge of town. They're above the railroad tracks. And we're just waiting. Apparently, they're using there's a senior center, which, I saw it. The senior center's there in the neighborhood. They're using that as a location for people to kind of rally if they don't have any place to go. I mean, obviously, you want to go somewhere with air conditioning. If you don't have anywhere to go, there's a senior center there. And I just had it, and I looked away. I was going to give you the address, but anyway, it's there in Washington Terrace. We're expecting to hear from KSL News Radio's Becky Bruce, who's headed up there to report for us, and we'll bring you all the information that we have. But we do know that at one point, 2 streets were evacuated there, and we'll let you know as soon as we know the status of that fire. So
aren't you
we
just
recommend in the meantime to avoid Washington Terrace.
I'm fascinated by any of these things. You know, we've covered quite a few of these wildfires, obviously, this year because of the status that we're at when it comes to how dry it is and how hot it is and all those things. We have up on the screen in our studio our live feed when it comes in, and I just am one of those people that's like, give me those images. I want to see them. And so when Chopper 5 fires up, those live images coming back, I'm going to be. We'll describe for you what we're seeing, kind of where some of that stretches to.
By the way,
yeah,
Alex, our current running total for fires in 2026.
Oh, depressing.
From January 1st to now, 650.
See, and I just don't know if that's a lot compared to.
That's more than one a day. Well over one a day.
I know, but
of them,
where is it for year on year? You know me. Give me the numbers year on year, man.
Well,
where were we last
We
week?
should look it up, but we're on pace for another strong season. I don't think we'll break the record, but among these 650, 356 were human caused.
Yeah.
For all the various reasons. Sometimes it's negligent. Sometimes the person who lit the fire doesn't even know they lit the fire. For example, in the case of dragging chains from a trailer, right? A lot of times guys will start fires with their trailers, and they don't even know.
You get the overheating car on the side of the road, and that actually does. It's the cars that cause the fires way more than fireworks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they did a full thing about it, and they're like, yeah, when you do the full breakdown, fireworks are a cause, but they're not nearly the one that is the most compared to some of the other, whether or not it's negligent or not, if it's just kind of a function of the fact that we have a bunch of cars operating on the road and people are driving them, and sometimes you end up getting these fires started, unfortunately.
Total wildfires for 2025, 1,159. So we're on pace for a respectable fire season. We probably won't break the record, but
I love that we're out fighting them, man. And you know what? We have the resources to be able to do it. And now that our search and rescue thing that we did last week that we focused so much on, that was so good to open the eyes of kind of not just the going out and doing the searching and rescuing, but also the wildfires who are out there, people out there doing the fighting the wildfires. You saw that a 4th member of those crews out in Colorado, that Colorado-Utah fire,
died in the hospital,
passed away this weekend, and it's a kind of thing where we are so blessed to have the resources that we do to fight these fires, but also the dedicated people to be able to do it, and even the ones coming from out of state to be able to fight those fires as well.
You know what? I'm going to actually plug what we were talking about last week with the search and rescue. So go to rescue.utah.gov, and you can get yourself a Utah Search and Rescue Assistance Card. Basically what that means is if you ever have to call search and rescue for whatever reason, you've already put a little money into the kitty, right?
Right.
You've already done your part, and you can call with a clear conscience. They'll rescue you no matter what. But if you're an outdoor family, this gives you a chance to say, hey, maybe you'll get on the call a little quicker.
You'll also have zero risk of them hitting you with the a rescue bill. You know what I mean? Like that, they said that. Like the guys, the sheriff from Sevier County straight up said it. He goes, look, but we don't want to charge you, and we probably won't in most cases, but this one guarantees that you won't. So
make sure you go to rescue.utah.gov. If you're a family that loves to go out hiking, camping, hunting, make sure that you get a Utah Search and Rescue Assistance card for your family and yourself, and just so that you got some peace of mind that you've done your part to make sure that our search and rescue crews are staffed and ready to rock and roll. And you'll feel good about that, even if you end up having to use it. Heaven forbid, hopefully you never will, but it happens, I think everyone who ends up calling search and rescue, they probably never thought they ever would. And then all of a sudden you are. So, all right, Alex, we've got a couple of things that we want to look at, and this is what I'm proposing to you, because we've only got a couple of minutes left, and the fire in Washington Terrace is kind of extending itself a little bit. We're in this weird period of time where we have all the initial information. We don't really have any follow-up information. And so this is what I'm proposing. I don't want to jump into our next topic because it's too good. We've got less than 2 minutes.
Well, it's also
left
a lot to be able to get in.
break.
It's also a lot to be able to get into in
It's a
in
lot.
90 seconds here as we get.
It's a lot. So I want to do this. I want to ask you to respond to a question via text.
Okay.
And that is, in your life, do you prefer more choices or fewer choices? And
Okay.
I'm talking about in general. Do you like a bigger menu or a smaller menu? Do you like more streaming options or fewer streaming options? And you know what? Just as I said that, Alex, we got the feed from Chopper 5.
Chopper 5 is floating above that South Ogden, Weber, kind of Washington Terrace area. They're looking. It looks like they're looking south from that crossing road right there across the I-84 interchange right there. You see that road that comes across and goes up that hill? That's Adams Road right there, because that's a toll road actually that's right there. But you're looking now just where fire crews and helicopters are dropping their fire retardant and fighting that fire that's coming up that hill there. And it looks just, this is you said you'd be able to see it from I-84. You'd be able to see it from well around. That's right next to I-84.
There's a lot of smoke there.
Yep.
There's a lot of smoke there. And you can see
the black. It's mostly that it's basically between, I want you to picture that I-84, the westbound lanes that are there up against that part of the valley. And then those trees that are up against I-84 there, and just burning across that whole kind of gap between, as it kind of goes up the hill toward Washington Terrace, the same kind of route that Adams Road climbs up right there. It's that same area right there. And so you can kind of look across there and see how it crosses the freeway, but you could see how much of that space has already been burned. That entire area is just blackened by the fire that is burned through there. They said just estimates a few minutes ago was between 15 and 20 acres that had burned right there. And
you can see this is a very, very active scene. We can see other aircraft in the area. Chopper 5 is hanging well back. So we're going to take news, traffic, and weather right here, and then we'll come back with more on KSL Brightside.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station. 2 o'clock at KSL News Radio. I'm Claire Scott. KSL's top story this hour. Cities across the central and western United States have been suffering power outages due to the extreme heat. The Department of Energy has now directed Southwest Power Pool to send generators out to states that have had widespread blackouts, including South Dakota, Wyoming, Texas, and Utah.
That provides companies who may need it, who either have a limited portfolio of supply, to be able to access those things.
Rocky Mountain Power's Jonah Whiteside says they don't believe Rocky Mountain will need the generator since their issue hasn't been a problem with not enough power. Instead, it's their equipment failing in the high heat. Our top national story this hour from ABC News. Tomorrow marks 5 months since the war in Iran started. President Trump says both countries have temporarily paused strikes because Iran wants to negotiate.
They want to meet, and we're meeting. We'll see what happens. There's a chance we can make a deal. Without what we did, they wouldn't even be talking to us.
Meantime, a spokesperson for Iran's foreign ministry says they haven't asked to resume talks. The man accused of killing 4 students of the University of Idaho in 2022 is reportedly trying to take back his guilty plea. Brian Kohberger told the New York Times in a prison interview he's filing a petition to reopen the case, blaming his guilty plea on false promises and wrong information. Kohberger is currently serving 4 life sentences for the quadruple stabbing. Your money at this moment, the Dow just closed up 262 points. The S&P is up 1 point. And coming up, the heat wave continues. KSL weather's next. KSL News Time 2:02.
Mornings are for recharging.
And they're for starting your day right.
We volunteer to join you in the car. Get news and weather at 102.7 FM during the most important part of your day.
Andy and Amanda, each morning between 5 and 9 on KSL News Radio.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 877 Cars for Kids to speak to a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Go to carsforkids.org now or call 877 Cars for Kids to donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K.
When you need a new water heater, you need it right now.
Yep, can't wait on that.
When you need a new furnace or a new air conditioner come the summertime, you need it right now. So Superior Water and Air has a wonderful program where they can help you with financing. If you need it, get it today and pay it off when you get your tax refund or just over time.
And that's one of the great things is they have multiple financing options. It's not just one, okay, you've got to do it this way. It's, you can wait till just after your tax refund. Well, what if you need no payments until later in the year?
Yeah.
They can work with you like that because look, they want to help you get you back on your feet with the thing that doesn't work that you got to use.
Yeah.
And they'll just work with your situation. What a great way to do it.
I loved introducing you to my friends at Superior because they're just great people. And when you invite somebody into your home, you want to feel good about them.
Yeah, and they're so customer centric. That was what really impressed me was they wanted to work with me and my family, whatever needs we might have.
Right. They want your home to be safe and clean. Superior Water and Air. Here's the number, 801-872-8483, or go to superiorwaterandair.com.
Pack a picnic, bring your friends, and meet us in Park City. It's time for the 2026 Deer Valley Music Festival, the summer home of the Utah Symphony. Hear joyful masterworks like Beethoven's Ninth Symphony in the Wasatch Mountains. Sing your heart out with iconic performers like Idina Menzel and Lyle Lovett. Relax with concerts under the stars and make new family traditions. Every concert is a chance to experience the best of the Utah Symphony in the beauty of Park City. Concerts will sell out. Get your tickets and plan your visit at deervalleymusicfestival.org.
Traffic and weather together, brought to you by UCCU. You deserve to love where you bank. Here's Michelle Rowe.
Looking at good speeds for drivers I-15 from Ogden to Provo again, and we do have fire going on near the I-84 Riverdale Road area, so you want to avoid that. Why I'm seeing a little bit of slowing in that area. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
A heat advisory is in effect today as highs near triple digits and lows are still in the mid-80s, so very little relief from the heat. We're going to flirt with triple digits all week long. Right now, 93 and partly cloudy. I'm Claire Scott from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
KSL Brightside with Ethan Miller.
Is this what they mean by getting the band back together again?
And Alex Keary.
Yeah, except this one is a reunion tour nobody asked for.
This is KSL Brightside on KSL News Radio.
All right, welcome back to KSL Brightside. I'm Ethan Millard here with Alex Keary, and let me tell you what we are seeing right now on the feed from Chopper 5. That fire just south of Washington Terrace up near Ogden has burned that entire open area between the railroad line and the neighborhood. And what we've seen is fire crews were able to stop this right basically at people's property line. We saw one fence that had entirely melted.
Big old vinyl fence is melted. Yep.
As far as we can tell, though, all the homes have been saved, and we're looking and seeing along that ridge there, I guess maybe where they got the word terrace, but along that ridge, firefighters are just hosing that whole slope down. They're just dumping water down that slope to make sure that they keep this from flaring back up and threatening the homes anymore. But you'll be able to see this footage on the KSL 5 TV because it is just amazing to watch.
Okay, now look at this. Now look at this.
How much was burned and how close the burn scar is to the homes.
So you just saw. So we're watching Chopper 5 that is well away and above and away from kind of what we're where fire crews are fighting this thing.
Right.
And we just saw the helicopter that went and dipped the big bucket into what looked like just like a retention pond. Did you just see that?
Yeah, and was that part of the Air Force? Because the Air Force base is right down there.
The base is not. It's a little further. It'll be further south.
Let me see if I can see where that was.
But man, they picked it up right next to the fire where it's at. And
did they?
Yeah. It looked like it was just right there, and they popped right up, and they just keep kind of making that circle all the way back to it again, and then. Yeah, interesting. Listen, like I said, what is really, really good news, and this is something we can corroborate maybe with Becky Bruce, who's going to be on scene in just a few minutes. But you can see across right there, I-84. That's that highway. That's the Schneider's Riverside Golf Course on the other side of the freeway there. But it looks like that helicopter is circling back to where it had picked up water before. And it's coming back around, and
you know what it does. You know it does seem to be the case.
That is so dang cool that we have the ability to be able to do it.
I bet they're looking at, and of course we don't have confirmation here, but based on what we can see, I think there's a good chance that this started down on the railroad line.
It looks
Because
close to it. Close to it. Yeah.
We were able to see they had a close-up footage of some people working down the railroad line, and the burn scar came right down to it, and so. We know that locomotives can start these fires. We know that they can shed sparks and things like that. And so it's entirely possible that's what happened. But again, we're not going to know for a while. But just so that you know, we did see that on the camera. It did seem like the burn got right at one point, got right down up next to the
railroad crews are there on the railroad as well. Like you can see some of those utility trucks that are railroad utility trucks. They're up against it, and some workers looking like they're either not just like for the fire part, but it looks like they're just right up against where that line was, where there may have been a start, or at least they're up next to it looking to see and evaluate what it looks like here, because it hasn't jumped that. On the very other side of it is a bunch of a lot of tree coverage on the other side, and then you have the hill that's a lot different topography just across that railroad line from Washington Terrace, and so.
But it looks like though that stretch of open area immediately south of Washington Terrace has been completely torched. I mean, completely torched from the railroad line all the way up to the neighborhood. It even melted a section of vinyl fence in someone's backyard.
They had one of the homeowners sitting in the corner of their property, just standing there right by one of those fences that had melted. They probably didn't recommend that they be right there, but you saw them just standing there and probably looking and at their property that had been saved. You know what I mean? From fire. Maybe they're not totally out of the woods here, but the fire crews putting that thing out before it got all the way up to those property lines. Pretty darn cool that we have those really resources to be able to have that. And we're watching. I mean, this is like being a kid. If you tune into our stream right now, we're watching this fire helicopter pick up bucket after bucket after bucket and just dropping it on the fire, and I could watch it all day. I mean, part of being able to get that thing done and make it happen. And making sure that those homes stay safe. It's just such a cool process to be able to watch them pick up that, as we're watching it live right now. They're going over to what looks like an open. I'm trying to figure out where they're picking up this water. I like being able to see where it is.
So it looks like there are a couple of ponds that are right there in that actual burn area. They might be getting it from there, but
oh no, look what they have set up.
Oh, they have tanks in a parking lot.
They have the tanks in a parking lot set up there, and they're being filled with the fire hoses.
So what they are, they're big fillable tanks, and they've got an inflatable ring. They're just like backyard swimming pools.
Wow, Ethan. I'm getting educated like crazy on this thing.
They literally set up. It's a big round tank. It looks just like a backyard swimming pool that's got the floating rim.
Right, and it's being filled. It's being filled with obviously a fire hose. That's the thing that's right there.
Yeah, they
feeding
fill it up, and then the helicopter comes down. Has been dipping into that. That's interesting.
This process is so cool to me. I know it's like
amazing.
Look if the houses were more in peril right now, obviously we'd be in a little bit more of a different attitude with it. But watching them be able to put those things out. And we're going to get Becky Bruce give us an update in just a few minutes here on this. But the Washington Terrace fire here, it's been burning for just over an hour and a half, and it burned about
that long?
And it burned between between about 20 and 35 acres now at this point. And that 20 to 35 acres looks like about to where it's been contained there. But fire crew is still working very, very quickly to try to get this thing done and make sure that they can keep it as contained as possible and away from those homes, obviously, right there. But I mean, if you're looking at it, you're talking about the separation between where the end of where the burned area of this where we saw the burn go up to, in some of the cases of these homes, is about 100 feet from these properties.
Yeah.
About between 75 and 100
less than
feet
that,
from
it's
these
their
properties.
backyards.
It's
yeah.
right up against their backyards, and like I said, that you saw a vinyl fence melted all the way up against one of those properties, and so they're able to. It looks like they've gotten a lot of it under control, but we'll make sure we can actually.
They might just be working on hotspots. So we learned from John Smith, who's the PIO at North Tooele, and he's done a bunch of work with us in covering these fires, giving us some context. But they'll use thermal imaging to find hot spots, and then they'll direct that helicopter over to douse that hot spot, because even though you don't see flames, it doesn't mean that that fire's over, because you can have hot spots flare back up again, and so they try and hit those. In fact, Alex, when we had this fire over here on Capitol Hill, which is very early in Brightside's life, that was kind of the first real breaking news story that we did. Wasn't it?
Just right over here.
Just right over here behind us.
I still see that. I still see that burn across just above Victory Road there, and you're like, oh yeah, that did happen a month and a half ago or 2 months ago now.
The next day, they had a helicopter up there scouting for hot spots.
Yeah.
So, all right, what do you want to do here?
Let's take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll keep you updated there. We'll see if we can get a hold of our own Becky Bruce, is going to be on scene here, or is on scene already. And I think as soon as she gets her bearings and gets an update, possibly from fire officials, and as soon as we get an official update from fire officials as well, we'll bring that to you also. But we'll take a quick break here. We'll come back. We'll get you updated on that fire, plus much more. Still have more to go here on KSL Brightside. Stay with us.
Did you know Utah State University is home to one of the nation's leading centers for disability research and advocacy? At the Institute for Disability Research Policy and Practice, we work side by side with Utahns with disabilities, their families, and community partners to make our state more accessible and inclusive for everyone. Our researchers, educators, and advocates partner with family service providers and policymakers to create real lasting change. We believe that everyone deserves a chance to live, learn, work, and play in our communities. From helping children reach their potential in early intervention programs, to building accessible technologies, to improving mental health and employment supports, our work touches every corner of the state. The Institute for Disability Research, Policy, and Practice is the only disability-focused research center in the state of Utah. That means we're Utah's home for innovation, data-driven policy, and community solutions that make life better for people with disabilities. Find us at idrpp.usu.edu.
On BritBox, there is a place where stories twist like cobblestone roads, grand manners hide secrets, and stakes are higher than seaside cliffs. Find places worth getting lost in on BritBox. Watch new series like The Other Bennett Sister from the world of Jane Austen and A Woman of Substance starring Golden Globe winner Brenda Blethyn. If you want to get away, you're in the right place. Stream the best of British TV on BritBox. Free trial at BritBox.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight illnesses like pneumococcal pneumonia and RSV. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and can help protect you from getting really sick. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. See more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Most families get their financial advice in pieces. A financial advisor here, a CPA there, an estate attorney somewhere else. Everyone means well, but nobody's talking to each other, and those gaps can work against you. Trajan Wealth's family office brings wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning together, not as separate conversations, but as one coordinated system built around your life, your goals, and the people who matter most. Ours is a true family office, not one that refers you out because it's convenient. This kind of dedicated collaboration used to require a 7-figure net worth, but here's the game changer. Trajan kicked that door open. Trajan advisors are fiduciaries, always obligated, always honored to act in your best interest. Unlock your Trajan family office at TrajanWealth.com or call 1-855-TRAJAN-1. That's 1-855-TRAJAN-1.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax.
Any Hour Services can make sure your AC keeps you cool this summer. Whether you need a tune-up, repair, or just a second opinion about replacing it, call Any Hour Services or visit anyhourservices.com.
KSL Brightside with Ethan and Alex. Your lunch hour just got more interesting on KSL News Radio.
Welcome back. This is KSL Brightside. I'm Ethan Millard. Here with Alex Curie. And we've got Becky Bruce, KSL News Radio's Becky Bruce, on scene at the Washington Terrace fire up near South Ogden. And Becky, tell us what you can about where this fire is and what you're seeing.
Yeah, it's very close to the Ogden Regional Medical Center, if you can picture where that is in your mind. I am at about 500 East and 5600 South in the Washington Terrace side of the neighborhood here. It's a mix of urban and rural and commercial all in the same spot. So you've got on the one side the neighborhood where we had some homes evacuated. On the other side here, what looks like a big farm. I've seen both homeowners and this farm here have their sprinklers turned on just to be safe. The smoke is pretty thick. It's all over the area. It's dissipated quite a bit and spread with the wind. So it's kind of hard to see the point of origin from where I'm standing, but I can see the helicopter that you guys were watching dipping and getting water and then going back to the scene of the flames. A lot of roads are closed in this area, so if you do have to be out and about, best advice I can give you is to stay out of the way if you possibly can. It's a lot of chaos and confusion, and they're doing their best to keep it organized.
So, Becky, as you watch this, and we saw some of the footage, pretty dramatic in terms of how close some of these lines have gotten up to the edges of these properties here. Do they feel pretty confident that they've been able to kind of withstand any of those flames crossing over and getting into actual backyards? I mean, we've seen fences melted, but we haven't seen anything where any of the homes are actually or firefighters are in the backyards and shooting down the hill toward the most dangerous spots here. But do we have any word on whether or not they feel like that they've been able to keep that line steady right there up against the hill?
I mean, obviously they're working as hard as they can. This probably gives you an indication of how busy the fire crews are here. My interactions have all been with sheriff and local police. The fire crews are all crazy busy, loaded on multiple agencies on attack. And so I haven't spoken to them directly yet, but from what I'm hearing from the police and the sheriff's office here, they are working really hard to save those homes and keep those flames from getting any closer. This is kind of on a ridge. And if you know classic fire behavior, we have a sort of a perfect storm here. There's heavy wind in the area and this ridge. So the flames are kind of going up the hill towards those homes. And it's just super dry. The good news, if there is any, I did have a couple of raindrops on my way up here. So, maybe that'll head this direction. Right now, it looks like those clouds are south of me, though. So we'll have to wait and see. All I can tell you for sure right now is the fire department is fighting a good fight.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it. And the video that we've seen has been very, very impressive. And we sure do appreciate you jumping on here. We know that you've got a lot to do this afternoon to try and get these details sorted. In what you've been able to learn, has there been any word on whether or when they're going to lift these evacuations?
Right now, it's just too soon to tell. Those flames are still active. The buckets of water are doing their job, but with the winds whipped up like they are, I think right now that's just a judgment call they're not prepared to make.
Okay, all right. KSL News Radio's Becky Bruce. Becky, we'll let you get back to it. Thanks so much for being on with us.
You got it.
It's so interesting. Just before the show, I was chatting with Becky right out in the newsroom. We were
about how much more you guys love Kentucky than Utah.
We were talking about Kentucky, and then now she's up covering this fire. It's working in a newsroom is fun. I'll just say that.
Well, Becky's our news director, and she's also just one of the people that just know their craft so dang well. And so we'll dip in with Becky as soon as she gets information. She'll relay it to us, and we'll be able to make sure and get her on. Like I said, relay it to us. I prefer she just gets straight on and say it straight over the radio waves because she's the one who's the expert as well. But we've got it covered across there, and Chopper 5 has left the scene, and so We got those images as well. You'll probably be able to see those this evening on KSL5 television as well as those images come back to the station.
Or this afternoon. What time is their first newscast?
I think they do at 4:30. I think that's right off the bat. Okay, so you'll be able to watch it just after Brightside's over. After probably an hour and a half, you'll see those images, I'm sure. In the meantime, Ethan, we've got all sorts of directions to be able to go. So you tell me.
Do we want to go? So we're leaving breaking news mode right now?
Yeah, I think so. Just because we don't have as much information. I mean, Becky had all the information that we have, which is as much as they can give you because she's right there on scene. And so, as soon as we get more from the scene there with this fire, we'll be able to bring that to you as quickly as possible. In the meantime,
all right.
Ethan,
Here's something you can do. If your brain feels tired, if you just feel overwhelmed. Experts say one of the things you can do for yourself is decrease the number of choices that you make and decrease the number of options that you have.
What's that even mean? How can I decrease the amount of...
It means never going back to Cheesecake Factory ever again.
The long menu?
The long menu. Apparently, the increasing flood of choices, whether it comes to shopping, social lives, relationships, streaming, you might think that an increased number of choices will make you happy because you can always find the best of everything, but it's actually doing the opposite. This is increasing anxiety, indecisiveness, and people are less happy with what they pick because of the number of options there are. I guess you can never be confident you've picked well. It's called the paradox of choice. So your brain will thank you if you just reduce the number of choices that you can make.
I'm trying to think of places where I could cut out more choices. Now, I actually, on the way in, because Ethan, I've told you last week that I've sort of turned a new leaf when it comes to my commute.
Yeah.
Do you remember what it was? It was basically just like, I'm just going to hang out and go slow
just
in the right lane.
Just get in one lane and just stay there.
Yeah. You know what? I came up with something in my head where I just said, slow lane for my mental health.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I'm calling it the slow lane for my mental health. But it probably would also work because then I don't have to think to myself, I'm not doing the picturing in my head like all the moves I've got to make to be able to get through, to get over here, to go over this way. That probably will help too. You just go, all right, this is kind of a set it and forget it situation with my driving.
Yeah,
I'm getting in that far right lane, minimal. And by the way, you know what happens over in the right lane? It's Bobby McFerrin's "Don't Worry, Be Happy" playing in your head the whole time.
Just put on,
just chilled out.
Get in the right lane, put on the adaptive cruise control,
and just
get there. Get there when you get there.
Yes, yeah. And I'm telling you, it's changed a lot. So I would say also from like a too many choices perspective, this makes sense to me because for me, it's not even just about the mental like strain or the stress or anything like that. When I have a lot of things going on, I actually have a hard time juggling. This is my ADHD brain. When I have too many of those things, another thing will pop up, and I'll forget the priority of this thing over here that I probably needed to prioritize.
Yep.
And my brain is really good about being like, hey, have you seen this over here? Hey, are you doing this over here? Have you thought about doing this? And then I go on to these things that don't actually make any kind of good impact on whether or not my day is a good day or if I'm doing a good job at my job or whatever it might be. It just is the next thing.
It's just
that
options,
was in front of my head. Yes, in front of my face.
Well, Dr. Barry Schwartz is a psychology professor at Swarthmore College.
See, now I want to look up Barry Schwartz just to be like, I want to see what this guy freaking looks like.
He's the author of The Paradox of Choice. He has a couple of examples here of where more options left people worse off. So in the case of Medicare Part D prescription drug plans, people in states with more choices were less likely to choose any of them. Isn't that amazing for Medicare? The same goes for 401k investments. The more
they log in and go, you know what? I'm not going to choose a thing. See you later.
I'm out of here. The same goes for 401k investments. The more options a company had, the less likely employees were to sign up even when the employer offered matching money. Simplify everything. Simplify everything. I do this in one area, and maybe you know. Can you guess? Caitlin actually commented on it a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, on so in terms of reducing what you
choose all my choices.
Is it how little you try to avoid politics?
You don't know anything.
I don't listen to you at all. I'm sorry.
No.
What is it?
I wear the same thing every day.
Oh yeah.
I have two colors of pants.
Yep.
I have blue pants and I have tan.
But how
pants.
many pair of pants do you actually have?
I have like 6 pairs of pants.
Okay.
In 2 colors.
Yeah.
I have 3 blue, 3 tan.
Yeah.
I don't wear them each for weeks. And then I have a half a dozen dress shirts, button collar. They're all the same.
Sure.
They're a few different colors, button down collar dress shirts, and I put on the pants. And I put on the shirt. I wear the same belt every day.
I think guys are a lot like this. Jury's out on whether or not it's a good thing because some people say, like, look, maybe mix it up a little bit more if you have.
No.
Okay, fine.
I'm not going to.
But here's what I was going to say, because I own, and part of it has been also on just how much weight I've lost over the last while, like in the last
You've
couple
been able
of years.
to get a new wardrobe.
It's not just a new wardrobe. It's specifically like I hate buying, like, because I have a bunch of pair of jeans that don't fit me anymore and a bunch of pair of pants. So what I've done now is, and I don't want to keep going and buying more pants, is like I'm like I've got all the fat pants I want. So right now I've got some skinny pants.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna be dead honest with you. I have 2 pair of jeans that I wear during the entire month.
Yeah.
And like right now I have these black slacks on right here.
Yeah.
And then I've got some khaki ones as well. I own 4 pants.
Yeah.
And so, spoiler alert, if you see me and you see me in those pants were worn 3 days ago also and probably didn't get washed either. That's the kind of life that I lead.
Guys, you don't really need to wash your pants.
That's what I'm saying. Can we get over the fact? Can we get over this?
I've been trying to talk to my son about this.
Stop washing your pants.
He likes to wear pants one day and then throw them in the laundry.
No.
Someone
it's like see, and I do this with my freaking kids with the towels too. I'm like, you don't need 38 towels in your freaking room. Why do you have all these?
Yeah.
I used it once and then I threw it on the ground. Gosh darn it.
Yeah.
I hate parenting.
Use it once to dry off your clean body.
I know, and then they put it on the ground, and then it's definitely worthless because then it stinks.
Yeah, because it gets mildew.
Gosh.
We got a text here. It says, movie streaming choices. My husband just scrolls and scrolls through the options without ever really
I'm guilty of that crap too.
Me too. That's why I just go to Cheers.
You just been watching Cheers? See, I will tell you.
I've watched Cheers like 10 times.
I know. I'll actually share something with Ethan, with listeners here about Ethan too. Ethan has watched Cheers 100 times. He's also watched the spinoff of Cheers, which is, of course,
Frasier.
You've seen Frasier 1 million times also.
1 million times, yeah.
You can't go wrong with those shows, though.
Oh,
especially
no,
Frasier. Frasier was the golden age of TV writing. It was so good.
You know what I remember? You know what I think about though every time I watch through Cheers? Kirstie Alley was so dang funny.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, my gosh,
yes.
she was funny.
Is she no longer with us?
No, she passed.
I forgot about that. Dang it.
I think, am I right about that? I think I'm right about that. I think she passed away.
We'll verify and we'll come
she
back.
She was so dang funny.
And we'll update it. Miller.
Someone else texted. Oh, Scott texted this and he said, "I limit my choices by choosing to only listen to KSL radio."
Look at you. Good for you. Well, and Brightside specifically.
Yeah, let's sharpen up that choice. Just choose Brightside.
Here's what we've got. We've got news, traffic, and weather right now. We'll get you an update on what's going on with the Washington Terrace fire. I also have a recipe for you when you get back that Ethan found out that they have in Louisville, Kentucky. I had the recipe. So we're going to come back. We'll talk about that next. Stay right here. More to go. KSL Brightside.
2:30 at KSL News Radio. I'm Claire Scott. KSL's top story this hour. We're continuing to keep an eye on that fire threatening homes in Washington Terrace. Multiple fire departments on the scene, and fire officials say it's burned 75 acres so far. We have a reporter on the scene, and we're expecting an update from officials soon. We will continue to bring you the very latest. 2 suspects have been identified by police in some random shootings in Salina and Aurora in Sevier County. KSL News Radio's Tammy Kikuchi reports.
On the morning of July 2nd, Salina police believe 2 men drove around the 2 towns and shot at stop signs, houses, cars, and streetlights. Police say Cooper Jones and Dakota Dudley are accused of criminal mischief, felony discharge of a firearm, and reckless endangerment. They both have been booked into the Sevier County Jail. Police say a search of Jones' truck found shell casings, alcohol, and drug paraphernalia.
Police say the shootings appear to be random. They don't believe the pair were targeting anything or anyone in particular. Our top national story this hour from ABC News, a new study offering some insight into how difficult it's been for a lot of Americans to put food on the table.
The nonpartisan Urban Institute in Washington says in 2025, almost 20% of Americans had to use their savings to pay for groceries, and nearly 1 in 20 needed cash from one of those high-interest payday loans for food. Among adults who use credit cards to pay for groceries, almost 20% pay less than the full balance every month, and almost 9% admitted they didn't always make the minimum payment at all. The Urban Institute's Basic Needs Survey states that over the past 5 years, food costs have risen 32% nationwide. Sherry Preston, ABC News.
Your money at this moment, the Dow closed up 262 points. The S&P closed up 1 point. And coming up, heat advisories today. KSL weather is next. KSL News Time, 2:32.
Hi, I'm Maria Shilaos, host of the KSL News Daily podcast, where you'll get a deep dive on a story important to you and the 3 things you need to know each weekday morning. Follow the KSL News Daily today, wherever you get your podcasts.
Amanda, every business needs IT help, and sometimes you've got that guy who already works for your company who knows how to do this stuff, but sometimes you don't, or the guy who knows the IT stuff, that's not his actual job.
Right. So Les Olson IT they can be your 24/7 help desk. They can support your existing help desk. They can do advanced cybersecurity protection. Maybe just come and take a look. Are you subject to phishing or ransomware or other things? What are the cyber threats you're facing?
And you've got to make sure that your data is secure, so both cloud and data backup solutions, they can help you with that. Plus, everybody's got to use a computer. That's where hardware comes in, infrastructure support. You don't have to know all this stuff because Les Olson IT knows it.
And most of the time, they can help you fix whatever's going wrong remotely, just off your computer. Plus, of course, they have copiers and printers. They always will at the very best price.
Les Olson IT is your trusted local IT partner. They've been in business for 70 years, and they've got 9 locations from Logan to Las Vegas.
Find out more at lesolson.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000. Use code MULTIPLY to borrow up to $10,000.
Kitchen and bath transformations start with AMC Building Materials. AMC Building Materials is a large kitchen cabinet and countertop supplier serving both wholesale and retail customers. AMC offers factory direct pricing on all interior remodeling materials, giving you exceptional value without sacrificing quality. Most standard items are available for quick payment and pickup right away. AMC Building Materials provides professional service, free design, and free on-site measurements, along with expert installation by top AMC professionals. From bold kitchen designs to beautiful functional bathrooms, AMC delivers outstanding value with styles you'll love. And best of all, most projects can be completed within just 10 days. Come experience beauty you can see, quality you can feel, and service you can trust. Get directions to the new AMC Building Materials showroom at 3678 South 700 West today and schedule your free estimate. Visit amckitchenslc.org. That's amckitchenslc.org.
Traffic and weather together brought to you by UCCU. Learn how to save more this summer at uccu.com. Here's Michelle Rowe.
I-15 running at posted speeds from Ogden to Provo and beyond. Looking at a little bit of slowing starting to build, though. This is Bangerter Highway approaching the 201 in both directions. Michelle Rowe in the KSL Traffic Center.
We're seeing scattered thunderstorms across the Salt Lake Valley today, which is cooling things down a bit. The high today is 98. Right now we're in the 80s. We haven't seen the last of the heat, though, with highs in or near the hundreds into next week. Right now it is 86 and a little bit of rain. I'm Claire Scott from the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios. Listen online at kslnewsradio.com. We're Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
KSL Brightside. with Ethan Miller.
Doug Wright is probably rolling over in his grave. Here he is back on the air.
And Alex Curie.
Well, first of all, Doug's not dead, but yeah, he probably would not approve.
This is KSL Brightside on KSL News Radio.
All right, welcome back. You're listening to KSL Brightside. I'm Ethan Millard here with Alex Curie. And I got a text here, a recommendation for you, Alex.
Yeah, what do you have?
It says, do what I did when I got too thin for the pants I own. Buy yourself some suspenders. So just give your fat pants a new lease on life.
You
just
know,
with some suspenders.
I had a suspenders.
Maybe
I had a suspenders phase in my life.
Maybe some of those clips to kind of clip the extra material together.
So I did suspenders for a while in my life, and I'll tell you, the suspenders don't fit my body type very well because I still have a gut. You know what I mean? Like a little bit of a gut. I don't think it's going to play well. You know what I mean? The suspenders won't play well for me.
The suspenders are awkward when you have a little bit of a gut because your gut pushes the suspenders.
Thanks.
And so if they don't come straight down, then
you're
they
preaching to the
accentuate
choir.
problem.
Also, I have a trauma. Can I share it with you? I think this will be good.
Did they snap off and hit you in the teeth?
Okay, no, but snapping off was there. So I was doing the suspender thing at one point, like when I was like 17 or 18. I went through a phase where I was I did like a bow tie and a suspender. You know, kids they experiment with stuff at church.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
These are the things that I experimented with as a teen.
Mm-hmm.
Suspenders. Okay.
Some kids experiments with with drugs and alcohol.
No.
Not you.
So it was my job to offer up a prayer at church. Okay. I stood up. The suspenders apparently wanted to race me to the ceiling. Okay. So as I stood up, as everybody's watching me, the suspenders came up from behind, like the back part. Okay.
Mhm.
Pa-pow! All right. Over the head. Okay. All right. Over the head. Pa-pow! Over the head.
Goodness.
Hit the table.
Oh my goodness.
Made a loud clattering noise, and
was this mixed company?
It was the entire group that goes to the church every Sunday. Yep.
This was
the
this
prayer.
Was the sacrament meeting.
This is the sacrament meeting.
Oh, okay. I get I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
I had just
now.
knelt down.
Pow.
Yep. Because some clattering.
Did anyone? Probably
everyone.
Everyone noticed.
Everyone. Okay. Some stuff broke. Some stuff fell off the table.
Did you have to do like a little partial reset of the whole thing?
Not a reset, a full reset. I thought for a brief second of running out.
Oh,
but my pants would have fallen down. So I was not. So when you ask about whether or not I want to put suspenders on, now that you know the context,
yeah, suspenders are out.
Suspenders are out.
You're a belt man. You're a belt man.
I'm a rope guy. I'm a belt guy. I'm a super glue guy before I will ever be a suspender guy ever again.
Okay.
Because my mom was like, I can help you with those pants. I can probably help fix those suspenders.
Was that the last time you wore suspenders?
Maybe, probably. I don't know. I probably tried to attempt it again, but the metal teeth, yeah, they're metal teeth.
Yeah.
The metal teeth that hold on to your belt line when you've got suspenders on. The amount of fighting that they did with that fabric to be able to get to that point where they just gave up. Like I beat steel that day. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
I beat steel with my body. And it was not good. And it was one of the more embarrassing things that had ever happened in my life. I had people ask me about it. I had people bring it up years later. Remember when your suspenders smacked the table? Clattered everywhere? And I stayed down as much as I could.
Yeah.
Just so I didn't have to stand up. And I remember somebody like handed me they put it back over my like head for me, and I'm like trying to reach back and fix it. I hate even talking about this. Like this basically makes me want to cry talking about it.
Does it?
Yeah, let's talk about my former
bad.
life. Let's talk about my former life as an extremely sensitive fat teenage
well,
kid.
now I feel bad because I've spent this whole time laughing at this story.
I know because I know that. But I'm a storyteller, but I will anyway. No better way to cap off that story of, hey, it's a victory because I weigh a lot less now, and also I've got a marshmallow recipe for you. Please set up the reason I have a marshmallow recipe.
Yeah. So I want to share this with you. So I spent the weekend in Kentucky.
Yeah.
Emily's sister lives in Kentucky.
Yeah, marshmallow capital of the
and
of the East,
we went to a restaurant in a place called Anchorage, Kentucky, which is a beautiful, beautiful little area. And they've got something. It's called like the Anchor something. Anyway.
Well, either way,
it's a restaurant there, and so we ordered up a couple of appetizers. One of them were these sweet potato fries. And they said, we'll order the sweet potato fries. And I would not normally order sweet potato fries in any context.
What are the sweet potato fries? I think you know what they are.
No, I know what they are. I never would order them. Certainly not as an appetizer. It's like you want the appetizer, sweet potato fries.
But if sweet potato fries are on a menu, does your wife order them 9 times out of 10?
No,
mine
not really.
does.
None of us really do. We all prefer regular fries. But they bring out these sweet potato fries. And the sweet potato fries, they set them down. They look fine. They look like fries. They're the kind of battered kind, though, so they're particularly crispy. They've got that crunch. They've got that crust on them, right? Because some sweet potato fries, they come out floppy and soggy and terrible.
For sure. Yep.
These were nice. These were crisp. They were obviously battered and then fried, and it had 2 dipping sauces. One of them was dark, and one of them was very white.
White.
And I thought to myself, oh, it's some kind of barbecue sauce, some kind of aioli, some kind of mayonnaise
like a
sauce.
Garlicky mayonnaise, yeah.
The white sauce for the sweet potato fries was not any kind of aioli. It was marshmallow sauce.
Yeah, it was. Marshmallow sauce.
Marshmallow sauce.
Fry.
So if you could imagine the sweet potato casserole that we're all so familiar with from Thanksgiving with all of the marshmallows over the top of it, it was just like that, except instead of mushy, soggy sweet potatoes, you had crisp sweet potato fries to dip into the marshmallow sauce, and it was phenomenal.
I have in front of me, Ethan.
I literally, when I ate it, I started laughing. I could not believe this was being served at a restaurant.
I know, and you know it's embarrassing for us as Utahns. This is something that we should have perfected years ago.
Where were we?
Because we're all so freaking tied up in our own. We're up in our own head about fry sauce and whether or not fry sauce is our fry sauce and it's not our. And I had a different kind of fry sauce, and this fry sauce is different at this fry sauce.
Not only that,
factory,
but casseroles are our thing.
Yes, and guess what? And guess what? Sweet potato fries coming to the table with a marshmallow dipping sauce. We should be ashamed of ourselves that another place in this country came up with that, and not us. Okay, this is ours. This is something that we would have perfected. Everybody else is worried about cocktails and, we have this. And we don't. And here in the state of Utah, we're like this. Hey, you know what? People don't drink as much alcohol here. You know what we do? We perfect the dessert. Okay? The ice cream, we eat it by the ton. Oh, the casserole. The salad that's not a salad because it's got Jell-O and whipped cream all over it. Boom.
We think we're the king of sweets, and then here comes Kentucky walking in with marshmallow dipping sauce for the sweet potato fries.
We need to make this a thing, and here's how we're going to start. I've got the recipe in front of me.
Okay.
Found it. Okay?
We did it.
Here you go. You're going to go. I'm going to double the recipe for you, by the way.
Okay.
I'm going to double it. You're going to go 2 cups of mini marshmallows. Okay? You're going to get a medium saucepan. Okay? 2 cups of mini marshmallows. You're going to go 1.5 cups of heavy cream.
Ooh.
Okay? And you're going to go 1.5 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. Okay? Boom, they all go into the saucepan. They all get to a simmer. You let it simmer without burning it at the bottom. You let that cream really incorporate into there. You take it off of the heat after it simmers for a minute or 2. You pour it into a bowl. You let it sit for 1 second so it's not too blazing hot so you don't die after you eat it.
And then you just throw the pan into the garbage.
And then
it's way too
the
sticky.
pan you will never see again. And then there you go. Boom. And so there it is. That's the end of it. So there you have it.
I would just like to say to Utah, you're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I could bring this experience back from Kentucky, share it with you all. I think we should claim it as our own. I think we should pretend that we've always done this. And the only reason why we didn't do it before was because you just didn't hear about it.
So but again, like I
done.
said, you're welcome. So the marshmallow dip. My question is it going to get the skin on the top? They said the heavy cream kind of mitigates a lot of that. You get enough of it. If you get it emulsified,
yeah,
you're going to be okay.
We didn't have any problem. So it was thick, but not so thick that you don't pick up the cup when you pull the fry out, right?
Oh, see? Yeah,
I was
that's what
worried
I'm-
about that because a really thick marshmallow sauce. I was like, how's this going to work? But it was good and thick. You had the stick peaks.
All right, let's head out to Washington Terrace right now. The looks like the Department of Wildlife Resources is addressing the media up there at the Washington Terrace fire. Let's take a listen.
Yeah, right now we've got a fire in Weber County. It's known as the Adams Fire, burning kind of in the Washington Terrace area. And right now we're about 75 acres.
When did this fire start?
The call initially came in around 11:30 this morning, but due to the weather and the topography, it's grown to that 75-acre mark right now.
What about the weather and the topography has caused it to grow so quickly?
So we've got a little bit of a breeze, and that breeze is going upslope, and as fire likes to travel upslope, it's just kind of accelerated its growth a little bit.
I know we have some evacuations. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, there are currently mandatory evacuations on 5600 South, 5700 South, all the way down to 7th West. Or not 7th West, sorry, 3rd West.
We see helicopters too behind you. How many personnel are on the scene and what kind of engines are fighting it?
That information I don't have right now, but there's a lot of, there's some brush engines and there's some structure engines that are doing structure protection and, working to contain the fire as best they can where it's at, but also knowing that they've got to do some point protection and protect structures.
Is there anybody injured at this point?
There were 2 injuries. One was a civilian and one was a sheriff deputy. They were both transported, but other than that, there's no additional information.
And what do you say to those people that are still home and they are getting conflicting text messages if they should be evacuated or not, or they don't know if they should?
If they feel like they need to leave. That's always the safe bet. Do what's best for you and your family. But if a mandatory evacuation has been issued for your area, your street, we always encourage people to leave as well. It's better to be safe and allow the firefighters the room and the access they need to get the job done.
Right, I see a lot of people standing around the neighborhoods and watching, and what do you advise for people doing that?
We say kind of avoid the area. There's a lot of interest in what's going on right now, but if you can avoid the area and allow firefighters to have access and get their job done, the sooner we can get a handle on what's going on.
So to clear up any confusion, there is a mandatory evacuation.
There are evacuations on 5600 South, 5700 South, all the way down to 3rd West.
Do you have any idea how many homes are affected by the evacuation order?
Don't have that information at this time.
Are any homes or structures in threat of the fire?
There are some structures threatened. That's why they would have the mandatory evacuations. One structure was burned, as well as a camper.
A camper?
Yes.
Do you know if those 2 things are destroyed or no?
That information I don't have right now.
And do you have any idea how the sheriff's deputy and the civilian were injured?
I don't have information on that either.
Do you have any information on the severity of their injuries?
I don't.
Okay. Any indication on how this fire started?
That is under investigation. Crews, when they respond to a wildfire, will work to identify a point of origin and preserve that point of origin so we can get a fire investigator in there to determine what the actual cause is. There's a lot of rumors that go around when a fire like this starts, but it's important to kind of let the investigation process play out. Sometimes those can take a couple hours, sometimes they can take a couple weeks.
How many different agencies are up here helping?
There's a bunch of different agencies from Weber County, as well as from the state of Utah that are up here, but an actual number count, I don't have that right now.
So it's still windy. I don't know, the sky's a little cloudy, but not sure if we'll get any rain. What's the outlook for the rest of the night and getting this under control?
Crews will continue to work to establish an anchor point and then build containment lined around it with the goal of 100% containment, utilizing aerial resources. We have helicopters with buckets that are dropping water, and they'll continue to do that.
Is there any containment at this point?
No containment at this point.
You said it started off when you guys got here, it was about 10 acres already, and now it's gone to 75. Is that accurate?
Correct.
With this being on a hill and neighborhood and changing wind, what kind of challenges is that presenting you guys in this current fight?
So fires within the wildland urban interface pose a a challenge just in general because of the values at risk. We have people's properties, just people in general that are around, and so that's what will trigger sometimes mandatory evacuations is when we're fighting a wildfire inside that wildland urban interface. It just adds to the complexity of it.
I know there was a fire in the grass field here last summer. Is this an area that, is at higher risk because of the fuels and the nature of the topography?
So light flashy fuels are always one where a fire can start easily. And with as dry as things have been with the drought that we've kind of experienced through most of this year, those light flashy fuels like we see back here with the grass and the light shrubbery make it very easy to ignite. And so a single spark can turn into a bigger wildfire. And so it's very important that, when we're out recreating or we're out just in our yards, we don't do something that's going to put a spark on the landscape.
Last question for me, at least. The helicopter behind you is dropping out water. Can you explain that process? You kind of went into it a little bit with me.
Yeah, so we always look for a dip site. Sometimes those can be ponds, it can be lakes. But if there's one that's not close by, firefighters will establish a dip site utilizing a piece of equipment called a pumpkin. And that pumpkin can be an 800-gallon pool that they can fill up from a hydrant or a pump truck, and the helicopter is able to dip into that, and it shortens their return time back to the fire so they can deliver water relatively quickly to the fire.
Do you think people are going to be able to go home tonight?
Right now, that's to be determined. We're going to keep evacuations in place until it's deemed safe to let people back into their homes.
And for those that do have to evacuate, maybe don't have a place to go just yet, is there any place available for them?
Yes, there is a shelter set up at the Senior Citizen Center. And so if they don't have a place to go, if they don't have family in the area, they can go there, and the Red Cross should be there to help assist.
Anything else people in this community should know?
Not right now, not at this time.
Thank you.
All right, we're wrapping that up. That was Carl Hunt, Public Affairs Officer for the Utah Division of Forestry, Fire, and State Lands. And basically, there is still an evacuation order in place for 5600 South and 5700 South in Washington Terrace. They've set up an evacuation spot at the Washington Terrace Senior Center, which is on the corner of 300 West and 4575 South in Washington Terrace, if you need an air-conditioned place to go, if you've been evacuated from there. There's 0% containment on this fire, and what I thought was very interesting is they're now reporting 2 injuries from this fire.
Yeah.
One is a resident, and another is a member of law enforcement. There's no information on how they were injured or their current status, except that they were both taken to the hospital. So they're working very, very hard on this fire.
Well, so on top of it, there was a back and forth of whether or not there were evacuations were still in place, and they are still in place for those residences that are right up against that fire right there, around that 5700 and 5600 South spot that they were just talking about.
In Washington Terrace.
In Washington Terrace. We saw where along that ridgeline where they were, and those houses have been evacuated, and the evacuation has not been lifted. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll wrap things up and get you ready for Utah's Afternoon News. Tim Hughes in for Jeff Kaplan today, and we'll walk you through all the details with this fire, plus your new traffic and weather. Stay here. More to go. It is KSL Brightside.
Right now, JCW's has 15 bus and billboards depicting our delicious, mouthwatering hamburgers across I-15. We've also just learned that I-15 averages 15 fender benders a day. Probably a coincidence, but just in case, keep your eyes on the road. Here's what our burgers sound like. Now, with your hands at 10 and 2, safely turn into one of our 5 locations in American Fork, Lehigh, Provo, South Jordan, and Harriman. JCW's. Quality and a lot of it.
Advanced Window Products. You've heard us talking about Advanced Window Products for a couple of years now, and the thing is that I love these guys. Jake and Nate, we've been talking to them over the radio and how many great deals that they can offer you as a local company, cutting out the middleman. This is the factory, by the way, and I've done the tour of the factory. Advanced Windows have been making sure that your home is cool in the summer and warm in the winter here in the state of Utah for the past 40 years. It's their 40th anniversary. They've been doing this by being the producer of the window themselves. They're the ones that do the installs. They're the ones that do the design. They're the ones that custom make all these windows. That means they can actually warranty this themselves and that nobody else has to actually put their hands on this thing. They are going to guarantee this product. They do it better than anybody else, and that means they can offer you the best price as well on top of the highest quality window. Let me give you a number. It's 801-850-9100. That's Advanced Window Products, and here's the deal. $2,500 off of 10 windows or more. If you mention you heard this on the radio, all you have to do is mention you heard it here on KSL Brightside. You get $2,500 off of 10 windows or more from Advanced Window Products. Let me give you that phone number again. It's 801-850-9100, 801-850-9100.
My name is Dale Pazinski. I volunteer with United Way to help the homeless in my community learn computer skills and build a basic resume. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
Give, advocate, volunteer, Live United. Go to liveunited.org. Brought to you by United Way and the Ad Council.
KSL Brightside with Ethan and Alex, the show you didn't know you needed and still don't on KSL News Radio.
Well, you know, there are good things and bad things about having breaking news like this on the program. And I mean, the bad news is this is a hard time for those communities up in Washington Terrace, which they're still under evacuation. They're at 5700 South, 5600 South. Hopefully they'll get back soon. They're really fighting that fire hard, but it is still 0% contained, which means, Alex, as we were watching that fire from the Chopper 5 feed, there were a lot of flames that were obscured by smoke that we couldn't see because it didn't look nearly as dramatic as we found out that it actually is.
Yeah. And those evacuations are all still in place, and so don't go off of anything else except for what the officials are saying, which is officially the evacuations are still in place.
Well, I feel bad for residents because it sounds like, and this was one of the questions they were asked by a representative of the media, it sounds like there are a lot of conflicting text messages flying around the Washington Terrace community, and so those need to stop. So
they straight up said, and also the ones about how they started, about how it started. They go, look, there's a lot of rumors that fly around on how these things get started. We won't officially be able to say anything until we actually confirm it. And so,
you know what it is? It's people reporting other people's teenage kids. That's what this is.
I know that one kid.
I saw him lighting out fireworks.
He's always out here.
He loves lighting fires.
And I see the fire in his eyes.
So it was also interesting to hear how they have set up a pumpkin, which is a place. It's basically a big backyard swimming pool, 8,000-gallon swimming pool. They can
fed
dip
by the fire. It's fed by the fire hose.
Yeah, they put a fire hose in it, and then the fire helicopter can drop its bucket in there and grab water and take it up and fight that fire. So we've got our fingers crossed that all those structures, they're going to be able to continue to defend them. Looks like they have up to this point been able to defend those homes, and I'm confident they'll be able to. I bet they've got the upper hand on this, and that they're going to be able to keep those homes safe. What we're looking forward to more information on, and maybe we'll get more here in the afternoon news, is the two injuries. So one law enforcement and one resident injured, taken to the hospital. So that and much more later.
Tim Hughes takes over coverage right now on the afternoon news. Stay right here with us, dialed in to KSL News Radio.
KSL FM Midvale.
KSL Salt Lake City.
From the KSL Common Spirit Health Studios, this is KSL News Radio.
Utah's news, traffic, and weather station.
It's 3 o'clock at KSL News Radio. Jeff Kaplan out all this week. Tim Hughes filling in. Those clouds are a welcome sight. It's cooled things off all the way down to 91 degrees. KSL's top story is developing news. We're learning that 2 people have been injured in a wildfire spreading fast in Weber County this afternoon. KSL News Radio's Becky Bruce is there, joins us live now with the latest. Becky?
Tim, there's still a lot we don't know, but we did learn a few things just a few moments ago with an update from a forestry official here on the site. Number one issue that we learned about was 2 people that have been injured, both of whom have been transported to local hospitals. What we don't know is their identities, although we know that one is a civilian and one was a member of law enforcement, and we don't know how severe those injuries are or how they were sustained. We're also learning that there's at least one structure that's been damaged, although we don't know how much, as well as a camper in this neighborhood. Now, I'm sitting here still watching a helicopter go back and forth from this pumpkin that they've set up. It's about an 800-gallon water tank, kind of like a giant backyard pool, where they are taking water and then taking it straight over to the flames using the helicopter to try and douse the flames and get the upper hand. The good news in the last few minutes here, even just since we talked to the forestry official, is that the winds seem to have calmed down a little bit. And as you noted, the temperature has dropped. There's more cloud cover now than there was when I first got on scene, but there's still a heck of a lot of smoke and multiple areas of this neighborhood that are blocked off. It is a neighborhood that backs up to some open fields and a ridge line. And we're told earlier the upslope winds was part of what fueled those flames. So again, lots of questions still, including the cause, but we do know at least 2 people hurt, though we don't know how badly. Live on the scene in Washington Terrace.